Test. Good morning. Okay. Good morning, Bansko Nomad Fest. Can I get a good morning? When I say bun, you say sko. Bun.
Go.
Bun.
Go.
When I say no, you say mad. No.
Mad.
No.
Mad.
When I say fest, you say fest. Fest.
Fast.
Fest.
Fast.
Bun.
Go.
No. Fest. Hey, everybody. Are you ready to hear about some real estate opportunities this morning? That was half-hearted. I know real estate can be complicated, but our speaker here this morning is going to help it seem so much easier, you know? So I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you excited to hear about some real estate this morning? Woo! All right, that's a lot better. Okay, our speaker this morning, his name is Christian Zarnescu, and he goes around to a lot of different nomad spots looking for real estate opportunities. So it's not just here, it's in a few places. And he also is from Transylvania. So he told me yesterday on a full moon, watch out. He's laughing. He's like, did you have to say this? On a full moon, he may become a vampire. You never know.
And this is a photo. And this is a photo of me actually coming just from Nice. Nomad Fest 2 years ago, we were in Skopje. And now a bit about myself. I have some notes. It's a lot of information. I will see what I can pick up in 20 minutes to share with you. Basically, a bit about myself. I'm on this market since 2007. I was working for an international developer in many countries, 18 countries. I visit with them, and I work with them in London, in Marbella, in Hurghada, in Bucharest, and in Bansko. And I saw Bansko building it up. Everything was a village, and then from Pirin 75 up, left and right, there were no blocks, there was only fields. And we were selling a plot of land and say to the clients, imagine this will be a building, a 4-star or 5-star or 3-star, and you can buy property in 2 years will be your apartment here. And then over the years, we saw how Bansko did change from this quiet mountain village with a ski resort and then nothing happening through the year to a village with a ski resort and some summer activities. And then we saw Bansko, co-working Bansko coming and promoting Bansko to digital nomad remote workers 8 years ago. And then also we saw Bansko City Hall making the village, which became last year a small town, pretty. Bansko wasn't pretty always. I remember 10, 20 years ago, there were a lot of potholes and manholes. Someone coming home drunk might fall down in a pothole. And now you see the town, it's so beautiful and elegant and organized. So coming about Plus Property, I manage Plus Property estate agents in Bansko. We are one of the leading agents in town, and we sell 3 times more property to digital nomad remote workers and entrepreneurs. And not only because we have connection and friends in this, and we are part of this community, it's also because we have good reviews. We tell the good and the bads. When someone buys a property from us, we tell them actually everything. Sometimes we lose deals because we tell them the truth, but because we tell the truth, we get more people coming to buy from us. Okay, so what makes a good place? And this takes me to, again, 2 years ago, I was in a coffee shop in Bansko, sipping my coffee, and I met an American lady which I started talking with, and she told me that she traveled extensively, 52 countries, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, and she's looking for perfect living, easy living places. And she came to Bansko for a week during the Nomad Fest 2 years ago, and she said, actually, I like it. I think this is one of the easy living places, and I'm going to stay here. And then I asked her, what do you mean, easy living places? What do you mean? So she said, actually, I'm looking to places, and I look for a place where it's good climate, it's safe, locals are friendly, people speak English, or it's a community they speak English. I can actually spend more than a few weeks. I can spend actually a few months in that place, sometimes even a year. And then myself, taking this note in my mind, traveling to the nomad hubs, I realized that this is also us when we look for a hub or a place to spend 2, 3, 6 months. We are looking for easy living places. And anyone can tell me a few things. What is living place it is, what a nomad it is, nomad place it is. And I will mention then a few. So basically, you have good climate, you have good community, you have good infrastructure, you have internet, you have English-speaking language, you have good co-working, it's a walkable place. Basically, you are in your own location and you can walk to your friends. They don't need to take taxis or busy streets and stuff. There are about 10 factors, and it's very difficult to find in the world places with all these 10 factors. Bansko has it. And we remember Barcelona used to have all 10, but with time becomes more expensive, and some locals are not very happy, and it kind of like went to 8 factors out of 10 and so on. And starting from here, I was looking actually at different hubs, and I think probably Chiang Mai has 10, 8, 9, 10 out of 10. Maybe Asuncion is becoming to 8, 9. There are actually quite a few places. Obviously, all the places in Spain, Portugal, Italy are really beautiful and it's great lifestyle, but also comes with higher cost of living or also of buying property. Okay, Bansko. Bansko has all of this, and then it's so much I would like to tell you. I will try to keep it quick, 15 minutes, and then to take questions. So it's when you buy a property, we are looking before. So we saw few trends, 4 or 5 trends. One of them is slow traveling. A lot of nomads, while once we are traveling like 1 week, many places to see many things. We now start to be 1-2 months in a place, sometimes 3-6 months, and sometimes now we start to think maybe I should have my own base. Also, we are looking now not only at where I can buy a cheaper property, we are looking where I have a good lifestyle, when I have friends, where I have a community. And now the nomad hubs, they compete when they market. They compete not only by price, but also they compete like with lifestyle. Low cost of ownership, this is very important. And we always, when we buy property, we are thinking first how much it costs, but also we should remember, we should think also how much it costs to own. Someone told me yesterday that in many ways, once you bought a property, and especially in Bansko, you don't have much running costs. Running costs are pretty low, and actually if you just close the apartment and leave, you don't have bills like 500 euros cumulated bills where you left. You come back and maybe you have €1 for some water or unused little electricity. And in this respect, she said, probably it's cheaper than a storage unit, which was a good thought. Another trend we see is hybrid use. Before, the market here was mainly tourist market, and we saw that the people were buying to use themselves during the ski season and later for the summer season, and also to rent. And then as town transform, with nomads coming, people now also are thinking how to rent by demand in the summer season and spring and autumn. And also for our community specifically, we are looking how I can buy a property, but also I can live in it, I can enjoy it, and then while I'm away, I can rent it and make some income. And then after 3-5 years, if I want to move somewhere else, I can easily resell. So this is another trend, the hybrid use. And then also, we see property not only as intrinsic value, its own value, the property itself. We see actually the community as part of property value. It's very important now when we buy property. Before you buy actually property, it was always location, but it was location in the city, in the place. Now we are looking location in the world, where it's a nice place, where I can see myself living, I can see myself staying for 2-3 months, 6 months, or I can actually make a base and live there if I want to settle and then just travel from time to time. And then first, we are looking now hubs, and Bansko, we think it's a good hub, and I'll explain you later why in this presentation. And also there are other hubs, obviously Chiang Mai, Bali used to be, it still is actually, it's a great place. It's becoming a bit more expensive to buy property. And other places in Europe, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and so on. Okay. Right? Okay. So how we buying smart? So every time we have someone coming in our property shop and they say, I want to buy a property, We actually say, okay, let's have a coffee, have a drink, and let's talk. And we ask them, why you want to buy a property? What's the reason? You want to live here? You want to rent? You want a mix of them? It's an investment. You want to take money out of the bank account and protect against inflation. What's the reason? And also, what you look for a property? What this property should give you? Just a property, just a storage unit, or actually you want to invest and grow? You want to rent? And depending the answers we receive, we advise and we help crystallize the idea what in this hub, in this specific location, what location in town is better for you, what building is better for you, because each building is different with facilities, with the taxes you pay, with the management company. So different buildings, they provide different services in different ways. Okay, so then people buy in a few ways. Usually they buy to live. So basically, you buy it, you live in it, you don't have much rental income, but you do have a base, and this base gives you stability, gives you confidence, gives you focus, and then also sometimes gives you freedom in the fact that you feel more safe, more secure, and then you feel more likely to take new adventures, new travels, start new business. The next one is buy to rent, which is pretty popular. Basically, it's an investor lifestyle. You buy it and you rent it yourself via Airbnb, Booking.com, or via manager. And this is a producing asset, which is a better probably investment than keeping money in the bank. Then we have the hybrid version. The hybrid version is the one where actually you live in it for 2-3 months a year, 6 months a year, and then you rent it, which is kind of like the sweet spot all of us will look for. A fourth one is value-add renovation, which I call it flipping, which also I do consistently. Every 2-3 years, if we can save some money from business, we buy a property to keep. And every year, with some money we have, instead to keep them in the bank, we buy 1 or 2 properties to repair and to sell. And then when you talk about flipping, you can flip, basically invest smartly in a few ways. Basically, you buy something, it's a distressed property, the property is fine, it's just someone needs money quick, and you find maybe there are 2-3 kind of properties coming like this a year on the market. Other properties, they're okay, no one wants to buy them, they're a bit too dark, or if it's something wrong about them, and you can actually fix them quickly, maybe a quick paint, or you put a washing machine, or you put a desk with chair and a monitor and make it remote work ready. So you can do little things, and then you sell it. And then other things could be bigger construction. It's a strange layout, and from a big 1-bedroom, you make a 2-bedroom, or it has no balcony, but it's ground floor or to the roof, and you have the chance to make a balcony. And then when you sell it, you actually get all your investment back plus profit. And this is what it refers to value-add renovation. And then also, the other option is actually buy new. Usually you buy new if you want to buy for yourself because you want something new, fresh, in perfect working order, or sometimes you buy new because you say, this is a good developer, the new build in 2-3 years will appreciate more than the old stock, and I think this is a better bet for me. So there are actually different ways to deal with this. Okay, cheap is not always smart. Yes, this building was very good value for money. It's called Orbelus. It's the project we took it last year. We had working on this deal to sign it for about 6 months. And then we managed to buy the building with some savings from our sales partner, and with one of partner bringing an investment fund. We bought it last year. We start promoting it at Bansko Nomad Fest, and by the time 5 months passed, we sold most of them. Actually, it's pretty much sold out except 2 units. And the building was not always like this. When we bought it, was a skeleton. Was only the pillars, the structure of the building, and the roof. No walls, nothing. And then in the first 6 months, we managed to put the walls, the insulation. The triple glazing is the only building with triple glazing in the town, as we are aware of. And all outside this finish of the building, we are working inside now. And probably by November, some of the buyers can move in. And then coming back to cheap is not always smart. Basically, cheap always or low price could be good value, but also sometimes low price, it's low price for a reason. And then if you see that the property it is low price, it is good too. Talk with an agent, talk with a friend which lives in the location for 1-2 years, talk with some locals to understand more about that building, that location, why it's so low price. Sometimes could be actually cheap because everything is fine, but probably management, it's difficult. Or maybe management fees are really high and provide no service. If you do pay more fees, but you have a swimming pool, you have a gym, you have co-working, then it's a fair trade, you get value back. If not, then probably this is why it's cheap, because the maintenance is high, and so on. Okay, Nomad Hubs. This is part of my other 20 pages I couldn't put on the slide. So to my travels, I go to Nomad Hubs, and I go because I like to travel. I like to meet my fellow friends and digital nomads and remote workers. But also, I have my special curiosity in real estate. And usually when I go, I do talk with estate agents, I meet developers, I talk with locals, I look at the price of land, how much is construction per square meter, what's the rental yields, and so on and so on. This is how done in Bangkok and basically all Thailand, in Chiang Mai and the islands, in Philippines. I was in Asuncion last year, and Panama and El San Salvador. So I put together a spreadsheet where actually I collect data about the lifestyle, what the hub is about, why people are in that hub, specifically in that location, what has about climate, about community, about lifestyle, what it is about specifically, 3-4 things about that place. And then also I put the price of buying property, price per square meter, and then I have actually a few more data. Basically, I'm looking at how much it costs to run the property per year, maintenance fees, taxes. I'm looking at rental yields, and also I'm looking at capital appreciation, basically how much the value of the property increase every year, or how much will be in 3 or 5 years. Some things are projection, but also from experience of the specific place and looking at the data last few years and learning economy and talking to people, you kind of have understanding where that specific market goes. So I have a file here, are about 50 hubs. So this is why it's not here, you have only a few of them. So basically, no matter how you put it, I was looking at, no matter how you look at it, I was looking at Bansko and probably the best 10 hubs in Europe, and then I extrapolate to South America, and then Asia and Southeast Asia, and then Caucasus area, basically Middle East and West Asia, and I was looking at the best hub and all this data. Also, I use a lot of data from AI. I use 2 AI and 5 searches, and actually as I was looking for not for estimates, for actually working range and clear data. So to my surprise, actually, I knew Bansko is pretty good. It came actually first. It came first for the best value for money per square meter, very good capital appreciation, average 10% per year, very good rental yields between 4 and 11%. I'll explain quickly what this means. And also very good exit option. You can resell with about 10% per year, and this is the trend for the next 5 years. And then also in Europe, there are many things we're looking at Lisbon, at Madeira, Valencia, Athens, all Puglia region in Italy, also Palermo. We're looking at Cavallo Thessaloniki area, Romania, Funchal, and Malta. So we have quite a few, and then I can continue with South America, Central America, and Asia. So basically, if you look at all the European cities, they are really beautiful. Lisbon, Barcelona, they're fantastic. Lifestyle, it's really beautiful. But then when you look at price per square meter, in Bansko, you buy, as average now, resale units, 1,000 to 1,200 euros per square meter, which means, in nominal term, a studio will be around 50,000 euros, and a 1-bedroom about 85,000 euros. So basically, I think a hub is still affordable if you buy studio condos, big condos for less than 60,000 euros, and 1-bedrooms for less than 100,000 euros. When you look at Spain or Portugal, these hubs I just mentioned, prices start to go up 2,000, 3,000, in some cases 4,000 euros per square meter. So suddenly, a 1-bedroom apartment is not 75, 85 like in Bansko, it starts to be 240,000. which is fine if you have the money, but then it's also probably, if you have the same money and you like Bansko or some other location like Chiang Mai or other places, you can buy multiple units, or you can spread the investment in different locations, and then you are safer. If the smaller units, it's easier to resell. You have more advantages financially. Obviously, if you like the place and it's a place where you actually settle, if you can afford, then that is the right place for you. Very surprisingly, actually, was in Asia. Chiang Mai comes actually pretty good. In Asia, the best rental yield was actually Bali, and I was surprised because I thought it's pretty expensive. Yeah, you need to spend, actually the rental yield is for villas. You need to spend maybe 200, 250, 300,000 euros or more for a villa, but the villas do give good rental income, which actually for Asia was about 5-6%. Bansko, when it comes about rental yields, it's 4 to 11% official data, and actually it's true. Basically, if you are in a 3-star building and the management manage for you, you get about 4, 5, 6% rental yields. If you are in 4-star buildings with spa and close to ski lift, then the rental yields go up 6, 8%. And then if you do your own marketing, you have your own Airbnb, Booking.com, through yourself or through a private manager, then you can reach 10-12%. And we have a situation, and actually a few cases with higher rental yields. We have in our community some of us bought apartments at lower price, and then they make it very nice furnishing, beautiful decoration. You have everything you need for remote work, and then very good photos and marketing and good reviews from the clients, and they do achieve sometimes 14, 16, and in one case we saw 18% return rental yield, which is fantastic. Okay, I will stop with this. Okay, yeah, we are at the hubs. Back, a bit back. Yeah, we should go back, I guess. Okay, so I will continue. Nomad hubs, it's a topic in itself. I would like to talk at the tent. Anyone wants to come later today or tomorrow, we can talk. Actually, it's a very interesting talk. I was surprised myself with the Nomad hubs. So much information, so beautiful. Right? Okay. Yeah, good. Okay, so let's talk a bit of numbers for Bansko. Okay, time is flying. I know. Okay, so Bansko, you still can buy resale units around 800 to 1,000 euros per square meter. This is on the low price, basically, are somewhere far away from the ski lift or from the town center, maybe very low maintenance, but nothing happening, no one actually cleaned the stairs, no lift, no insurance, nothing. And then the most of the properties are now between 1,000 and 1,200 euros per square meter. A studio, which is basically a hotel room with your own private kitchenette, which is about 35, 40, 45 square meters. Then you can buy it around average 45, 50,000 euros. And then if you are close to the ski lift, or if you are in a spa hotel, then it's a premium for this, and prices go up to 1,200, 1,300. We have studios selling at 60, 65,000 euros in this location, in this kind of buildings. And also we have 1-bedrooms sold at 100, 110, 120, and 2-bedrooms between 135 and 175. We sold one in Old Inn a few months ago. When it comes about new build, our building probably we sold it at the lowest price of all the new builds, and our idea was actually to share our margin with our community. And the idea is when you buy from us, if you want to resell in a year, we guarantee that basically you can put 10% on top and can resell it. It's so good. So basically you buy it 10% under market price. And all the other new builds are anywhere between 1,400 and 2,000 euros per square meter, which actually takes you at a 1-bedroom, takes you to about 150, 160,000 euros. So if you still find hubs around the world which you really like and enjoy and you feel good in them, and you can find property for less than 1,500 euros per square meter, which means a studio less than 50,000, sometimes 6,000 if it's a bigger one, and one bedroom 90, 100,000, it's a good deal in real estate terms. And I was very surprised last year in Asia. I was 2 years ago, and then 1 year later, properties went up 30 to 50%, which was really strange and unusual. Normally, the property goes up 5, 6, 7, 10% per year. So there is a situation on the market, or some big boys with big cash, they buy big chunks, which is kind of strange because you don't know what to expect next year on a property market. Okay, coming about rental yields, I mentioned rental yields can go anywhere from 5% to 12%. And then coming about capital appreciation for Bansko, we expect anything to buy now actually to grow about 10% per year for the next 5, 6 years till they reach about 1,600, 1,700 euros per square meter. And the reason is we have still now, we have three times more buyers than sellers at this price range, around 1,200 euros per square meter. So basically everything under studios under 50,000 euros and one bedrooms under 100,000 euros, there are very little resales on the market with good location in spa hotels, maybe 100, 200, and probably very little stock as well. Which means as soon this stock is sold, Bansko sell 1,800 units a year. As soon this, and we expect this stock to be sold at this price in the next year, then the next prices selling will be the next bracket, which is 13, 1400, and then 1 year later, again, 15, 1600. So in reality, I actually expect the prices to reach 50% in 3 years, but I'm not really sure about this. I don't know what will happen in the next 3 years, but I'm pretty confident within 5 years, it is 50% more than now. Okay, and then just to mention, we have a new deal we work off for 1 year. I had this hotel for sale. It's close to the ski lift. It's a 4-star spa hotel. And we managed actually to get a deal where we can sell it not as a hotel, but individual apartments, and not to anyone, and with all agents in town, only us, and only to the market we want, basically to our fellow remote workers and entrepreneurs. So the same, last year we sold 60 units in 5 months in Mons Orbelus, and it's under building, and it's completing pretty nicely. The same, we're starting selling now at Bansko Nomad Fest these units, with studios at 45, 50,000 euros, and one bedrooms at 78, 85, 90,000. So very good price, very good location, very good potential for rental yields. It's a spa hotel 4-star, and it's in the right hub. If you are interested to learn more, please do come at our tent in the park. And also we'll have a viewing today between 1 and 2 at Guinness Hotel. You are welcome to come, might be there till 2:30. Okay, the building has everything. And if you scan this QR code, you can put your email to get more information about this building, and then you'll find out my contacts as well. Cristian Zarnescu Plus Property, if you are not interested in this specific building, but you want to learn more about the Bansko property or another type of property in Bansko, but not this one, I'm happy to talk to you privately. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christian. I'm going to actually go into, if you need to go to the next stage, go ahead, but I'm going to ask him just a couple of questions. So the first question, actually, I own property in Lisbon, and I want to ask you, how easy is it to get repairs or find your contractor to do work on an apartment in Bansko? Because in Lisbon, you can be delayed for months to find anyone to do anything for your apartment.
Right, so yeah, it used to be really easy. It's not easy anymore because a lot of people buy property. Basically, Bulgarians from Sofia, they buy a lot of 30% of properties is sold to them. Ukrainians and Israelis, they bought quite a lot. And now we have also a lot of young Europeans coming from Belgium, Netherlands, buying properties. There are not enough traders for how many apartments have been bought and repaired. But if you do, we are doing actually had a business separate with repairs. If you buy from us, we always help our clients with local traders and local prices. Might take actually things they used to take a month or 2 months. If it's a bigger project, might take 2, 3, 4 months.
Okay, so just budget for that with the time, guys, because it's a real thing. I didn't know when I bought my first property, and it does matter per market, and it's something we can't see when we are buying a place. So, okay, well, I'm going to only ask you one more question, but then everything not answered, he's going to get the message, and please
Yes,
reply.
I'm happy to answer, yes.
Yes, and he's always available at his office at Plus Property here in Bansko as well. So my last question for you is, as a potential investor in foreign properties, what sources do you use to estimate rental income and ongoing costs? How do you obtain reliable information?
Obviously, I'm not using AI. I'm just using it to prove a data. Basically, I go on the ground. I need to go on the ground and spend some time. I need to talk with, I talk with agents first, just to give me a general idea of the place, or with a developer. But then I go to private meetings of expats. Could be actually expats which have nothing to do with remote work. It's like proper expats, like British expats in some location, or if remote workers which they own property there for a year or 2 years, or they live there for a few years, they understand the market. So I try to understand actually how it works socially, economically, what the government is doing, taxes, how much the land costs per square meter in this area, how much it costs to build, and then talking with people, I start to get a more clear idea. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot to factor in, especially if it's your first property. But I think walking around, we can all agree, Bansko is a really great place. So if you're thinking about it, come and see Christian at the booth or even in his office, Plus Properties. Thank you very much, Christian.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And please stay for our next talk. We're going to start in about 10 minutes.
Thanks. Good. Thank you. Very good.
I had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched my hands out to the sky, we danced with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back, whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now.
2, 3, 4.
It's such a big world. Sometimes I feel small, like I'm in a castle, lost in the halls. It's like an ocean inside these walls. Maybe it's not a bad thing after all. It's such a big world. Sometimes I feel small, like I'm a child and everyone's tall. The people are walking, I'm learning to crawl. What if it's not a bad thing after all? Maybe some things are not meant to change. This life makes less sense as I age. The best pieces of me, they remain just a little bit strange. After it's not It's not my
Freedom is also really vague term, you know, to me. It's like it's different things for it.
Sometimes I wonder if I should be medicated, if I would feel better just lightly sedated. The feeling comes so fast and I cannot control it. I'm on fire but I'm trying not to show it, as it picks me up, puts me down, picks me up.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, hey, we're back. Who's ready to learn about building your sovereign hub? I would hope that you're all here. You know what we're about to talk about. All right, our next speaker, Jan Kotas, is a former digital nomad. I don't know if we've heard from many of them this week so far, so this is going to be interesting. He's a former digital nomad who applied flag theory principles to restructure his lifestyle. By doing so, he gained greater personal freedom. He minimized his tax burden. I think we would all love to do that. And he reduced his dependence on any single state. So I'm hearing like true freedom here. Drawing on his own experience, he co-founded Hacking Lives, a company that helps others achieve the same goals. He also co-founded and leads the Bitcoin Paraguay community, where he actively contributes to building a Bitcoin-focused sovereign hub in Paraguay. Jan Kotas, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. So today I want to talk about something I believe is becoming increasingly important to not only digital nomads, but entrepreneurs, Bitcoiners, and people who, in general, really value freedom. And for many of us, the freedom starts with mobility. We realize that we can work remotely, and remote work gives us this opportunity to travel and to actually design our lives in a way that the previous generations could only dream about. And that's really powerful, but at some point I think we also start to realize when we progress in our life that we actually need a stable place, or place where we want to stay, and where we can actually build something that lasts, where we can raise our family, and where we can truly connect with the local society and maybe be part of the local community. So today I want to share my story, the story about travel, about mobility, about sovereignty, about the jurisdictional arbitrage, about Paraguay, about Bitcoin, and about the concept I call sovereign hubs, places around the world where the people who really value sovereignty can actually stay, build, and truly belong. Okay, all right. So my core message of today's talk is that I believe the next stage of nomadism isn't just about increasing our mobility, but it's actually about starting building places that are worth moving to. And my core thesis is that the freedom needs more than just movement. It needs structure, it needs community, and it needs a place, safe place to build. And to really understand where I'm coming from with this message, I will share briefly my story. So my story started simply. I'm a software engineer. I finished the university, and then I started working as an independent contractor. So that gave me the possibility to travel and to pursue nomadic lifestyle. So I was traveling and enjoying life and meeting many interesting people. And I didn't really think about like jurisdictions, taxes, sovereignty, and other things. I was just like curious about meeting other people from different backgrounds, and I wanted to try different lifestyles and meet people from all around the world. But while traveling, I actually understood, I noticed that freedom is also geographic. There were places where I just felt much better. It was there were lower taxes, less bureaucracy, and more space to breathe and to build. And on the other hand, there were also places where there were more rules, more regulation, more bureaucracy, and in general, I had this feeling that the local system is constantly trying to manage me. So travel showed me optionality. It showed me that where you stay pretty much shapes how free you feel. And my default system stopped looking like the way things are and started looking more like one option among many, and not necessarily the best one. But then I hit first limit, and that was that from the outside, my lifestyle, my nomadic lifestyle, looked like a freedom, but inside myself, I truly felt unrooted. I didn't feel that I belong anywhere. So I was meeting interesting people, having really deep conversation, and from the outside it looked really like a freedom, and I kind of felt free because I could move wherever and whenever I wanted. But something inside of me was missing. And I think many nomads understand this. Like, at first, mobility feels like the answer to everything, but after some time you realize that movement alone just cannot make us free and especially happy. We are social creatures. We long for the deep human connections because we are tribal species. And then I understood another thing, and that's that physically I was mobile, but structurally I was still tied to Czechia, to my home country. I was still tax resident there. I still had the reporting obligations there. And even though I wasn't really living there, right? I wasn't benefiting from the local society. And to be completely frank, Czechia is not the worst place to be. It's actually a really nice place to visit. But as in many other European countries, the taxes are high, the bureaucracy is real, and business environment is not really friendly to young entrepreneurs. So I was starting asking myself, am I really free, or am I just enjoying temporary mobility while still being tied to the old system? And that realization made me think seriously about my personal structure, and I was starting thinking about what are the ways, how can I opt out from the system? Because I didn't want to spend my life just complaining about the system and the politics and waiting and hoping that someday in the future maybe the things will change to the better, right? For me, as a digital nomad, it was much more natural to actually vote with my feet rather than voting at the ballot box. And when you choose, when you live, when you're a resident, when you do business, where you pay taxes, when you do banking, you're actually making really practical decision. You're choosing which system you benefit from, and you're also choosing which system receives your productivity. So I started treating residency, banking, business as my tools for my personal sovereignty. And I will just briefly ask you, how much of your life is controlled by a single state? Where you're a citizen, where you're a resident, where you do banking, where is your business incorporated? Just think about it, like how much do you depend on one single system? Think about it for a second. And I went through this process, and I was thinking, how can I structure my life in a better way, which gives me more freedom? And that search brought me to Paraguay, because I seen that Paraguay can be really good base for my structure. And it was truly practical decision. I just wanted residency with really simple residency process, ideally low or zero taxes, eventually also territorial tax system, which I could benefit from, and low bureaucracy and ongoing obligations. It was not some romantic dream, it was purely rational decision. But when I actually arrived to Asuncion, I started noticing something different. First, I booked my accommodation just for 3 weeks, and my plan was just to do the residency process, maybe see some local landmarks, and then adios, continue traveling in Argentina, Chile, Brazil, and other destinations. But after some time, I started noticing that I actually am meeting people that are very close to my own values, people who genuinely cared about freedom. And to my surprise, not only the expats or the foreigners, also the locals, which for me as a European was very surprising. And the place, it started feeling different. It was not polished, not really perfect, not flashy, but somehow it felt real. And for the first time in many years, I started feeling that I naturally belong there. And it happened really fast. So in the beginning, Paraguay started as a paperwork but over time, it actually became a place I wanted to stay and where I want to build something real. And that's when the Bitcoin Paraguay story began. So during my time in Asunción, I met some friends, mostly expats in the beginning, and we spent evenings talking about banking, finances, financial sovereignty, because in Paraguay, there is still a lot of friction in the local financial system. It's not really easy to send money in and out of Paraguay. So those conversations naturally led to seeking alternatives, and I mean specifically Bitcoin. And me, as a very passionate Bitcoiner, I sometimes just couldn't help myself but preach about Bitcoin wherever I went, which not always was perceived really well. But I was fortunate in Paraguay because many of my friends there, they were already really deep into the topic, and other were really curious about learning about it. So I started doing some workshops. I was educating first just the expats and digital nomads about Bitcoin, and it went really well. But I somehow started understanding that my impact is very limited. I wanted to have some local impact on the local society because I wanted to actually stay in Paraguay and build there something real. So I understood that I cannot do content only in English. I have to start connecting with the locals and start doing workshops in local language, which is Spanish. So I connected with some local Bitcoiners that I already knew were doing something locally. And we decided to found Bitcoin Paraguay, a community that was intended to create a space for like-minded individuals to actually meet and share ideas. And the interest really struck us. We started doing meetups, and to the first meetup, we seen 50 people coming and showing up. To the second one, we already have 65 people. To the third one, we had 80 people, which was much more than we anticipated. And 2 years later, this Bitcoin community has over 650 people, active members, and we organized, during those 2 years, we organized over 90 events. So right now, we're literally organizing event every week, at least one, sometimes even two. And also, we were pretty successful in orange pilling local businesses. Orange pilling means like convincing someone to actually start using Bitcoin. So there are 40 businesses in town that are currently accepting Bitcoin for their products and services, and that naturally helps us to foster the local circular economy. And then I started understanding something else, that there were actually many people that were visiting us because of what we built there. People from all around the world that were curious to learn something about our community, about the things we were doing. And those were names, really some names in the space. And I understood that Bitcoin, they are kind of a sovereign beacons because they are signal where the people with similar mindset, similar values are concentrating. And I know that, for example, with the Bitcoin, not everybody is in Bitcoin for the same reason. Some people, they just come to make a profit over time. Some people, they come to reduce their dependency on the traditional finance system, or just hedge themselves against some scenarios when, for example, the banking system can collapse, right? But in general, I think Bitcoin pushes people to more deeper questions, like what is money? What is the role of money in our society? Who controls the money? What is the role of the state? You know, and why does freedom matter? So I think the Bitcoin community is are not just about the Bitcoin itself, but they are actually more about freedom and our sovereignty. And also this movement, what I was talking about, that you can actually choose a place where you want to stay and when you want to build, this also is very important to understand this game theory behind it, because historically, states had no real competition. People were usually tied to one place. They worked locally, they lived locally, and all their assets were physical. So it was really easy to trap them in the system. But right now, we have options. We have technologies, we have internet that enables us to share information across the globe within seconds. We can travel. Travel became much more accessible than it was before. It's much cheaper. Our work is increasingly more digital, which gives us the opportunity to actually travel between different destinations. And finally, for the first time in the human history, we have a tool for a real financial sovereignty, Bitcoin. So as a result of that, productive people, they finally have real choices where they want to live, where they want to build, and where they want to invest their time and energy. And this puts pressure on the states, because for the first time they have real competition. They have to compete between themselves for those productive people to attract them. And there will be jurisdictions, they will understand this, and they will attract builders. But there will also be jurisdictions that will be hostile to these people. They will push them away, and they will demoralize those who remain. And the first group of the jurisdictions, they will naturally grow and flourish, and the second group of the jurisdictions will slowly decline into irrelevance. And I'm saying that also because of I'm a software engineer, and also I care a lot about freedom tech. I care about the people that are building technologies that actually enable freedom, not just in the really hostile environments, but also in general in the world. And I believe that it's really important where you actually build, because there are places that are absolutely hostile to these people. Those people face real consequences if they, for example, talk openly about what they are building. And I'm just like thinking, like, maybe it's a good thing to think about, like, where, if you want to enable freedom, if you want to really build freedom tech around Bitcoin, privacy, it could be like networking protocols and so on, which gives tools to the average people to actually be more free in the jurisdictions that are against freedom. So I'm just thinking, if those people actually can come to the jurisdictions that enable them to build it, don't treat builders that are building freedom as criminals. And now we're finally getting to the point of the sovereign hub. It's not just a low-tax country, it's not just a digital nomad hotspot. It's a place where four things come together, and those four things are jurisdictions, it's a community, it's an economy, and it's a culture. Without friendly jurisdiction, productive people are exposed to the state's hostility, and they are usually forced to leave, or they are very demoralized. Then without a community, the jurisdiction is just a paperwork. There is no real connection, no real trust, no one to build with. Without economy, and then by economy I mean real business activity, there are no resources to sustain those activities that are supporting Sovereign Hub in a long term. And without the culture, people don't put their roots, so they leave when some better option occurs, and nothing gets defended really. But when those four aligns, the sovereign hub emerges, and what is important that not only the people that are participating there, that are living there, benefit, but also the countries. When a country attracts builders and productive people, it gains far more than just tax revenue. It gains knowledge, it gains capital, it gains builders, and it gains the strong culture of responsibility. Rather, where the people, rather than depending on the state to solve every their problem, they take action and they build it or solve it themselves. And I really think that this creates a lot of resilience, because a resilient society is much more harder to actually push towards dependency, centralization, and collectivist ideologies. And I really care about it myself, because I don't want just to benefit from the Paraguay's freedom, I actually want to strengthen it. And I believe this concept of sovereign hubs can be replicated in other places as well. I don't think that there should be just one hub. There should be many in different cultures, different legal systems, and in different communities, but all of them connected by the same idea, that freedom only survives when people care enough to build and defend it. So my message today for everyone is, I don't want everybody to just go to Paraguay to move there. Some of you maybe might visit, some of you maybe stay, and you're very welcome to join us. But my message is, my point is that wherever you are, find or build your hub, build your sovereign hub, because freedom movement doesn't need just the believers, it needs actual builders, people who organize the meetups, people who do the workshop, people who onboard the merchants, and host the dinner or connect the local people. Because if we only escape, we remain isolated. But if we build, we become hard to ignore. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jan. Can you stand here for me?
No.
All right, so I do have one question to start off with. You mentioned this towards the end, that you don't believe there should only be one sovereign hub, you should build multiple ones. What happens if something happens in Paraguay with a government, like regime change and a law change?
That's a good question. That's where the structure comes in. Of course, I don't want to be like fully dependent on the Paraguay. But I'm structured in a way that I can move anytime I want. I don't want to move anytime soon. I want to stay there and build the freedom in Paraguay. But I have this optionality to do it in case. And that's also why I think there shouldn't be just one sovereign hub. There should be many places around the world where the freedom-minded individuals can go to when their jurisdictions where they are based becomes hostile towards them.
Hopefully you would get a sense of that before it happened, but do you think it's best to, we should have a plan B in our mind already if something happens?
I think you should definitely have a plan B.
Yeah. Where would you go if it wasn't Paraguay?
Well, at the moment it would be probably Panama. Panama is also quite a good option from the sovereignty perspective. They also have a residency program. They can also open a business structure there. They have really good foundation to protect your assets. So that's one of the options. There is also a project on Roatan in Honduras called Prospera, which is very interesting. And there are many places. I mean, but for now, I believe, at least for me, Paraguay is the the best out of them. So I want to be there.
Okay. We have a bit of a long question here. I feel that when you have roots and are connected to a place, then the government has more ways to F you. Is the only way to achieve freedom by dividing your time among a few places? Yeah, and the backup plan. I believe this approach might make you less tied. So how can you find balance between personal freedom and maintaining a connection to a place?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, I'm lucky enough that Paraguay already offers a lot of freedom that I can structure my life and without sacrificing much of the freedom by actually living there, staying there most of the time of the year. But yeah, I know that it's not the case everywhere. You cannot just like stay somewhere most of the year and expect that the country won't consider you, for example, tax resident. And if the country has really high tax regime, then you cannot really feel free because you have to contribute much more than you want, for example. And yeah, I mean, like building your sovereign stack, building your optionality, that you always have some backup plan in case the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, got it. And what are your feelings? Okay, you just mentioned this. What are your feelings about Prospera in Honduras? Have you been there already?
I've never been there. I heard a lot, and actually have a really good friend who is building this movement or is really participating in this movement. And what I think, well, it's not a strong option from the jurisdictional perspective as Paraguay. And I know that they had some issues with the Hondurasian government in the last couple of years, and there is a lot of uncertainty about how this project is gonna evolve in the future. But I think what they are doing is really cool. I'm a big fan of this project, and I hope it will sustain over time. Yeah, there is a lot of uncertainty at the moment.
I'm going to ask you one other thing about being sovereign. Actually, let me ask this one first because I was thinking of my own question. Okay, how do you live a sovereign life at the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey and or aiming to build a sovereign life?
Well, and I wasn't really thinking about being sovereign in the beginning when I started working as a software engineer. That came down the road, and then, of course, like when I already was thinking about taxes, jurisdiction, the geo arbitrage, I started also thinking about how to structure my business. So first, I for example, incorporated US LLC to optimize my taxes and having really good business structure in the jurisdictions that respect privacy. But then I also started actual business, helping people, during their own optimization and structuring their life. So, and which also means that I'm doing business closer to my own values and the way I live. So, I guess that's the answer to this question.
Oh, we have another question too. How will you organize law enforcement, fire department, and your healthcare, et cetera?
Okay.
Question.
How much time do we have?
Yeah, 30 seconds. 30 seconds, Jan.
Well, okay. That's a good question. I mean, personally, I'm very libertarian. I'm very for freedom, and I think there are ways to actually do that in a way that it's organized by the free market, not by the state itself. And there are actually examples. For example, in Paraguay, most of the fire stations are actually run by volunteers. Yeah. So there is not much money coming in to support those activities, and they are paid mostly by the public. For example, the firemen, they are walking through the traffic jams, and they are asking for money to support their activities. So this is, for example, one example for the fire department. And healthcare, I'm 100% for private healthcare. I don't know why should we have public healthcare?
Yeah, I've always found private to be faster anyway.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah,
You get much better service for your money. I mean, Europeans, they always talk about like about the benefits of the public healthcare, and they don't have to like care about it, and they get covered everything and so on. But they also don't understand that sometimes they have to wait for months, you know, to get attended, or they don't know how much it actually costs them to actually be insured. So.
Yeah, time's up, Jan. But
Okay, okay.
if we don't have our health first, we can't even be sovereign. So it's really important to get that. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, we're done now. So thank you so much,
Thank
Jan.
you.
And
Thank you.
guys, come back in 10 minutes. We're going to talk about LinkedIn. Thank you.
Good? Yeah? Yeah? Thank you, thank you.
Feel better just lightly sedated. The feeling comes so fast and I cannot control it. I'm on fire, but I'm trying not to show it. As it picks me up, puts me down, it picks me up, puts me down, picks me up, puts me down. 100 times a day, it picks me up, puts me down, chews me up, spits me out.
sky, 'cause you're a sky full of stars.
No, Croatian.
'Cause you light up the park. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. 'Cause in the sky, 'cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you. Cause you're a sky full of stars. I wanna die in your arms. Cause you get lighter the more it gets dark. I'm gonna give you my heart. I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do. 'Cause in the sky, 'cause in the sky full of stars, I think I see you. I think I see you.
All right. I want to tell you a really kind of an embarrassing story very quickly to start this out. A friend recently asked me, she's in the audience now, she said, "How is your LinkedIn?" And my immediate guttural reaction was, "Sucks. It just sucks." And so I need this talk as well, and I'm sure a lot of you do if you're here. So LinkedIn is so important, but I know it can be frustrating. How many here get a lot of spam LinkedIn messages? I think that has turned me off. I don't know if Martina, our next speaker, is going to talk about that. Maybe you can, Martina, but let's pump up our LinkedIn profiles now. Our next speaker, Martina Roshkai, I first met her in the back of a songtao in Chiang Mai, where she was DJing a group of 12 of us having a karaoke session. So one of the best DJs in a songtao you can find. She also has a certificate from a go-kart academy in Croatia, where she is from, so watch out whenever she's driving. And she's also a CV consultant and a LinkedIn business mentor who has worked with over 600 clients in the last 9 years. She helps C-level and high-ranking people get better job opportunities. So without further ado, talking about turning your LinkedIn profile into a client magnet, here is Martina Roshkai. Martina.
Thank you. Are you still treating your LinkedIn profile like a CV in 2026? Please raise your hands if you do. Okay, I see you. Great, perfect. Let's do a quick check-in. Who here would be slightly embarrassed if their dream client visited their profiles today? Absolutely, okay. And who still has a LinkedIn profile that explains who you were instead of why someone should work with you now? Okay, I have some good news for you, guys. You're in the right room today, because today we will speak just about that topic. My name is Martina Raškaj, I'm from Croatia, and I'm a CV consultant and LinkedIn business mentor. On the one hand, I teach C-level employees how to present themselves in their resumes, cover letters, and LinkedIn profiles so they can get more job interviews and find a job easier and faster. And more than 80% of my clients who are actively trying to find a job find it within 2 months. On the other hand, I teach other experienced solopreneurs like me who want to build their personal brand, who want to become a go-to person in their industry, and who want to attract clients on LinkedIn without sounding salesy. Today, my goal is to teach you how to turn your LinkedIn profile into a client magnet. When I'm reviewing LinkedIn profiles, I can see that most of them don't sound human anymore. People use buzzwords, corporate language, and more often today, AI-generated text. When your potential client lands on your LinkedIn profile, they will not choose you because you sound the smartest, but they're looking for someone who they can trust. In other words, people are nowadays trying to impress instead of connect. And that's the problem. Because when people check your LinkedIn profile today, they do it before they reply on your comment, on your post, or before they reply on your message in your inbox. They do check your profile even before they can trust you, because they want to know who you are. Before they click this button, book a free discovery call, and before they can feel they can recommend you to their friends. And most people underestimate this. The biggest thing I want you to take today with you is that your LinkedIn profile is not your CV. It's your first sales conversation. And especially if you're a solopreneur, self-employed, founder, business owner, CEO. Anybody who is trying to sell their services or products on LinkedIn. So let's go deeper into a LinkedIn profile. What a strong profile can actually do for you? What are the benefits of a good profile? Well, first of all, it can consistently attract inbound inquiries, even on a daily basis. It creates trust before people book their first call, so it's easier then to close them on this call. Then it helps you position you clearly, so you are not one off, but the one in your industry. And it can make people understand your value fast, who you are exactly. Why should they choose you instead of competition? And everything what I mentioned works even when you're not posting. So everything starts with your LinkedIn profile. And why do I care about this? Well, because LinkedIn has been my main channel, client acquisition channel for more than 9 years. And more than 80% of my clients come through LinkedIn. I have worked with more than 100 professionals and solopreneurs on positioning, visibility, and profile strategy. So, a strong LinkedIn profile, how does it look like? Well, it answers on 4 basics and really important questions. First of them is, who are you? Here, you should mention and you should clearly know what is your job title, which job position do you hold. And I'm not speaking here about, oh, I'm a business owner, I'm a founder, I'm a CEO, I'm a solopreneur, I'm a self-employed. No. Why? Because when you look for a solution on LinkedIn, you don't type these words in search box on LinkedIn, especially when you're, for example, trying to find a person who can help you with email marketing strategy, or if you're trying to find a person who can help you to lose some weight, or if you're trying to find a person who can help you with administrative work, you will not write these words. You will write job titles: email marketing strategist, online fitness coach, and virtual assistant, right? The second most important question for your LinkedIn profile is, who do you help? Make sure that you clearly know who is your target audience, who is your ideal customer persona, who is this person who you can help. The more precise and clearly and in more details you describe this person, it will be easier for your potential client first to trust you and then to reach out to you. The third question is, what problem do you solve? You have to know what is like this main problem that your target audience has. Because if you don't know that, how can they know that you understand them? And the fourth one is, why should people trust you? What makes you unique? Why should I choose you and not your competition? Why should I work with you, right? So what I see that most profiles don't answer on these questions clearly. So how to sound clearly and how to present yourself that your target audience and other people on LinkedIn understands you. The most important section on LinkedIn is, of course, headline. Your headline is not your job title. It should communicate who you help, so to mention your ideal client, then what result you create, which goal you help your target audience achieve, and why should people care? Why should they choose you? Why you are the one that they want to work with. Since I like and since I prefer and I learn more easier with examples than only with theory, I prepared some examples of headlines. So you can see on the screen the first bad example. It's founder marketing helping businesses grow. If I'm the person who wants to increase my sales on LinkedIn, I don't really know if this person can help me, right? But if I put LinkedIn Business Mentor, I help service-based solopreneurs attract clients through LinkedIn without sounding salesy. Ooh, that's more clear, that's more precise. I can see that this person is into LinkedIn and business. I can see who is the target audience. Okay, I'm a service-based solopreneur, so this person is talking to me. And I want to increase my sales, so this person helps me attract clients through LinkedIn. And without sounding salesy, yes, that's what I want. The next most important section on your LinkedIn profile is your cover photo or background photo. Consider it like a free billboard, because this is the first thing people notice when they go and check your LinkedIn profile. Cover photo supports your headline. You should not repeat the same message or words or phrases. You should have one clear message on it and not like list all the services and, I don't know, all your target audience, so it looks like a mess. The other thing I really, really, really want you to remember today, that call to action matters. Throughout your whole LinkedIn profile, you should navigate your potential client, because when they stop reading the text, you should tell them and show them what is the next step they should do. So call to action really matters, guys. And once again, I prepared example of my cover photo. So in the left upper corner, I mentioned my target audience and what is their goal. And in the middle, I put 3 questions. They're talking about struggles and goals that my target audience wants to achieve. And if you're my potential client, you will answer all of them, or at least one of them, with yes. And that's why I put an arrow and a call to action. Send me a message, because that's the next step I want you to do if you're having these struggles or if you want to achieve these goals. The last one, most important section on your LinkedIn profile is about section. And it gives to my clients the most headaches, because you can write a lot of text in it and people just don't know what to write here. So your about section is not your story, a story about you, where you should present yourself. For example, like when you're an employee. But you should clearly explain your client's problem. What are their struggles? What are their limiting beliefs? What are their negative thoughts? So they truly understand and see that you know what are they struggling with. If clients don't see themselves here, they will just leave your profile, because they will not feel connected. So strong about section creates connection. And how does this connection looks like? Well, a strong about section needs a couple of things. First, the problem your client has. So again, don't worry if you mention the same things a couple of times on your LinkedIn profile. It's okay, because nobody reads like everything from your cover photo to the end. Like, explain their everyday struggles and what are their problems. Then explain your approach or solution. How do you work? What methods do you use? In what time you will help them achieve this goal? Then prove that you know what you're doing. Tell your story, how you already achieved this goal that you're helping with today. And also make sure to put some of your clients' reviews here. And the last thing, just a second. Thank you. And the last thing is clear invitation to connect. Call to action, yes. Perfect. On the other hand, what silently pushes clients away? Let's sum this up. Unclear messaging. When you are not sure who you are, who is your target audience, what do you offer, and what makes you unique. Then generic positioning, when you use these buzzwords and corporate language, and when you don't talk and write to your client, but when you write for LinkedIn, for a platform, you know, just to make algorithm better. And talking too much about yourself. I'm sorry to say, but your LinkedIn profile is not about you, but about your ideal client when you're selling your services on LinkedIn. And when there is no direction, no call to action on every single section. In other words, people are trying to sound impressive instead of clear. That's the main problem. So people optimize for LinkedIn instead of for their client, for the person who they can help. And then those potential clients, they just feel confused and they will leave your profile. So my final thought for today is that your LinkedIn profile is already talking for you. And the only question is it attracting right people or confusing them? If on the screen you can scan my QR code, feel free to connect. And if you're selling your services on LinkedIn, or if you're trying to sell, feel free to send me a message with keyword profile so I can review it and tell you how to improve your LinkedIn profile. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martina. I'm going to have you stand on this side. Okay, and please, guys, send in any LinkedIn questions now for Martina. We've got some coming through already. So, first of all, let me ask you about the spam question. Is there any way, do you have any tips about how to attract less spam, or is this just
to improve your profile?
Because improve your profile.
Yes, I mean, that's it. I had some clients who told me, we worked just recently, and he told me, Martina, I received so many messages from all kind of headhunters and employers, and these jobs are not related to me in any way. And I said, because of your profile, because you didn't clearly present yourself. And as soon as we improved his profile, then he started to get less this spam messages and job inquiries.
This tip alone might be motivation for maybe all of us to update and make our LinkedIn profiles better. All right, another question for you. What if you wear several different hats with different businesses and very different target clients?
Yeah, I'm in the same position because I have two niches. Like one target audience is our C-level employees, and on the other hand, these experienced solopreneurs. So what I did, I listened to my business mentor because I was struggling with the same. I have two industries, and okay, how can I communicate both services I offer? And then he told me I should focus on one only, meaning that I should post more and communicate more to the target audience, who is my primary target audience. So to give you an example, since I post 7 days a week, I don't say that it's necessary, it's just like I really like writing. 5 days in a week, I talk to solopreneurs and I write all these posts related to this target audience. And then 2 times a week, meaning on a weekend, I create posts regarding people who are trying to find a job. So it's the same answer to the person who asked this. Pick your primary service and primary target audience, and most of the time talk to them.
Okay, I see your profile appears to be mostly in Croatian. Does this get automatically translated for international clients? How does that work?
Yeah, my LinkedIn profile is in Croatian because my main target audiences are Croatians, or people who can understand the Croatian. When you're on my LinkedIn profile or any other, on the right-hand side in the upper corner, you have a button. I mean, if person translated his or her profile, then you can switch to this another language. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, very good tip. Does it make sense to do the LinkedIn blog even if there are very few reactions to it? Like, how important also is posting?
Yeah, if LinkedIn blog, if you're thinking here about LinkedIn articles, I'm not sure because LinkedIn blog, I'm not sure. LinkedIn article, yes, but not too often. They are good if you want to talk about some basics regarding your services, or if just like your content, if it doesn't fit in the post, then okay, you will write a LinkedIn article and yeah, think about all these SEO words, and that it's really good.
Yeah, the general posting. How important is the posting? Like you said, you
really.
post every day. Are you writing
Yeah.
posts?
So when we are talking about, okay, how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn, how to attract clients, there are several activities you should do on LinkedIn. First of all, okay, like optimizing your LinkedIn profile is basics, but what you should do regularly and consistently post on LinkedIn, comment, like, and connect to people. And not only to connect, but also to talk to people, like to reach out to them. This is today like really important thing.
So about the algorithm, and I think what you're describing just now is really feeding that algorithm. How do you adapt to the algorithm changes that cause you to get less exposure?
Ooh, I never liked LinkedIn algorithm, to be honest, and actually I never care about it because what I focus is on giving value to my target audiences. I think that's the most important. And I think this suggestion is like in general for every social network. As soon as you're giving value to your clients, and if they understand you, and if they're building trust, then like no algorithm can like really destroy you. No.
I think if you're posting every day, it's got to be helping, right? It's going to keep you connected.
Yeah.
All right, so can you optimize your LinkedIn profile both for your clients who read it and for automated AI searches from HR specialists?
Well, I will make a parallel with CVs. So more and more clients today are asking me, hey, do you have experience with optimizing CV with like these AI things and these softwares? And I'm like, gosh, like, no, like it's always the same. You have to use these keywords even if there is AI or any kind of software, and when there is not. So even like before 10 years ago when I started, what I learned my client is that you should pick your and check your job ad, mark and highlight all the keywords and all the things you have, and then like literally copy paste it into your CV. So the same is with LinkedIn profile. Make sure that you put the words that are related to your job and industry and your skills, talents, your experience. And then you will, beat AI. You will be, yeah.
I would love to beat AI.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't we all? All right, is it a good idea to share travel content and try to link it back to the insights related to your industry, such as IT or AI consulting?
IT, yes, because it helps your personal brand. I will tell you on my example. So I'm a CV consultant and LinkedIn business mentor, and I also love to travel. But of course, I share some of my stories when I'm traveling, and those posts gain like a huge amount of likes and comments. And then I used to stress out about these posts because, like, guys, like in this previous post, I literally told you how to earn more money and how to increase sales, and I got only like, 37 likes. And then I posted how I was in Chiang Mai with you, and then this post hit more than 200 likes. And I'm like, why? But it's easy to understand because more people can relate to your personal stories than to your educational content. And it's good and it's recommended to share your personal story. And here I just want to say that I personally have like these two sides. Like personal is something that I want to share, like traveling, but intimacy is something that I don't want. Like, I will keep this only for me. So yeah, private things that you're okay to share with your audience it's highly recommended.
Yeah, that's for other social media channels, right?
Yes, yeah, as well.
Okay, wow. I have more than 14,000 LinkedIn connections and over 60,000 followers across social media, but LinkedIn still isn't generating enough qualified clients as I expect. What do you think is the biggest mistake that this person is probably making? Thank you, Dr. Immigration, that question.
It depends about your business. Yes, I'm a LinkedIn business mentor, but I'm the first one who will say that LinkedIn is not for everybody and not for every single business. So, yeah, I sometimes get inquiries from people who are doing maybe some local-oriented business, and then I say, my personal experience and opinion is that LinkedIn is not the adequate social media for you. Because, for example, I like to give such basic examples. Like, if I'm looking for car mechanic, a person, I will not look for this person or this kind of business on LinkedIn. I will just Google it or go to Google Maps. So it depends what kind of business do you have. And that's one of the first things I tell to people who are just entering entrepreneurship world. Like first, those 4 questions. Who are you? What do you sell? Who is your target audience? And what makes you unique? Because sometimes it can help. I mean, based on these answers, you choose your communication channel. And in communication channels, there are like these all social media networks that we know.
Very good advice. Okay, now we know you post every day. Okay, we have another question. How frequent would you suggest posting?
Minimum, what I would say, is 2 times per week. Of course, I hear from a lot of people, oh, I'm scared, or I have a fear that I will be boring to my audience, and then like I'm posting about the same topic for 9 years. Am I bored to you? No. So why is it like that? You have to remember that not everyone, and I mean here everyone in your network and on LinkedIn can see every single post. And as soon as you, the more time you appear on somebody's LinkedIn homepage, they will gain more trust, and you will become go-to person to this person. I can also share like some stories that I hear from my clients. They say, Martina, I have been following you for years, but now is the time that I need help with CV or LinkedIn, whatever. So yeah, can we discuss about this? And like literally nobody ever told me that I'm boring or that I post too much or like anything like that. So 2 times per week, it's minimum.
Great advice. I feel the more often you see somebody too, as long as it's not too much, I feel like you're really passionate about what you're doing. So, okay, we have one last question for you. What sections and how do you recommend to optimize if you're searching for a job versus when you're searching for clients? And what are some viral post techniques for LinkedIn that you recommend?
Regarding first question, well, it's a different perspective how you optimize your LinkedIn profile when you are, for example, a student. So you're just a student, or when you're a person who is looking for a job, or when you're an employee and you're okay with your job, you don't look for another one, or when you're trying to sell your services. So 4 different perspectives. And I think this question requires a lot more time than we have, but yeah, it depends on your position, who you are, and what is your goal. Based on that, you think, okay, how can I reach this goal? How can I present myself as an ideal job candidate or as the perfect solution for my client? And regarding the second part, viral, no, I don't do virals. I focus on giving quality to my clients. And as long as you do that, you will be good.
Thank you so much, Martina. This was really helpful. And I hope
Yeah.
all of you are going to go out there and boost your LinkedIn profiles
you.
after this. Thank you. All right. Yes, and come back in 10 minutes. We're going to learn how, we are going to hear a very interesting journey about learning 53 skills in 52 weeks. So stick around.
When I wake up in the morning, love,
Yeah, no,
and the sunlight hurts my eyes,
never mind.
and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seemed impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
They're like the meta glasses, so they, yeah? Cool. Yeah, but I will ignore that advice. I'll just move around. No, I'm just joking. Yes, yes, yes. Got it. Yeah, okay. I think so, yes.
Oh yeah, man.
there. See how much. Thank you so much for helping
Like
us
a
out.
fool, I went and stayed too long.
Yeah.
I'm wondering
Alex
if your love's
Northstar
still
and I.
strong.
You can also just say Alex Northstar. Yeah, with like a K.
Here I am, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours.
I am her best friend, her biggest supporter, biggest fan.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Now I'm back and not ashamed.
Practiced a lot. I do not.
Baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours.
Power souls. Goodness.
Here I am, baby. Oh, you got my future in your hand.
Do you love cheesecake?
Here I am.
So there you go. I got you. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine.
You got my future in your
I'm gonna make a joke though that might get the stream canceled. By the way, just giving you a heads up.
foolish things that I really didn't mean.
No, it's like if yeah, be like I'm addicted to pistachio. So like if you give me 1 kilo, I cannot stop eating.
Things in this old world. When I touch the
I do appreciate the effort you put in. So you're doing a good job.
Here I am, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. I'm yours.
Yeah, no. Fuck the whole AI thing. All of it's like, no, we don't do that. We don't do AI.
That's why I know
Let's
you're
say hello to everyone. What is AI? Yes, sir. We're ready to rock and roll. Can I say hello to my friend? Did the Queen of Canada decide to join my little talk this morning? Good. Excellent choice. Hello there, my gentlemen. Excellent choice. Let's see if I'm gonna get this stream cancelled in the first 5 minutes. I have a joke. All reliable. Filippo, apprezzo il tuo supporto tecnico e morale, let's go. Prima fila. Sto dicendo all'amica mia che c'è una battuta che potrebbe cancellare lo stream, ma vediamo come va. Una battuta, ma penso sia ok. Guarda. Facciamo un tentativo, poi dico tagliatemi. Oh. Alright, I need to get back, get on the stage. Is this thing too high or too low, like the microphone? Can you help me out? Is it working now? Cool. Yeah? The clicker, is it gonna work?
We're 1,000 miles from comfort.
Just press it
We
hard.
have traveled land and sea, but as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be. I would away
Hi there, good
forever, exalted in the sea, as long as I am with you, my heart continues to beat. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same. Gave you another name. Switch up the batteries. If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. Knowing the little hope you can't shame me. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. We stayed out on a
Hey, and we're back. Are you guys ready to learn how someone learned 53 skills in 52 weeks? Yeah, me too. All right, our next speaker has one of the coolest names we've had on stage. Alex Northstar Enake. Love that name. Wish my middle name is Joe. What was my mom thinking? Oh. Okay. Alex is a human supporting visionary founders and leaders who want to scale revenue without more headcount. He's been arguing with AI since 2019. Wow. And he's helped Fortune 500 and 50 small to middle-sized businesses put AI to work in the last 3 years. He's also addicted to pistachios. He said if you give him 1 kilogram, he won't be able to stop eating them, but if you give him 5 kilograms, he will die. Don't die. Don't give him the pistachios before you finish this speech, Alex. Come on up.
Appreciate you. Buongiorno, buongiorno, beautiful people. Thank you for spending a little bit time with me today. Thank you for making the choice to be in this room. I need to start with an important question. What do you call a dog with no legs? What do you call a dog with no legs? It doesn't matter because he's not going to come. Anyway, half of the room is now, what the hell? And the other half's like, yeah, it's kind of funny. Anyway, I love dogs, but we're not going to talk about dogs today. You also see the first slide, which is the cheesecake. How many of you like cheesecake? Raise your hand. Hell yeah, cheesecake team. I love that. So ideally, we want to make life more tasty. But what does that mean? Life more tasty. So, this is a guy that was on the 4th of January. He had all the freedom in the world. He has all the freedom in the world. He's making 6 figures. He was freezing his ass on top of the mountain, slowly descending into depression. How does that work? How's that possible? You say, that's perfect, right? I mean, you got the money, you got the freedom, so what's wrong there? I'm showing you this because this person could be you, right? So once you take care of the money problem, once you take care of the freedom problem, what's next? Because that's something important that you should think about, all right? So, I was there thinking about my life, what am I going to do next, and what's actually valuable and not. So then this was like my email for a couple of weeks. When people would email me, this is how your email finds me. Now, I did a little bit of introspection, and I kind of reached this conclusion, like what was the issue of this person? Well, one of the modern new problems that we have is that we consume. We consume, right? You take that little piece of glass that you have in your pocket or that you look at home, and you look at it all day long. Is that correct? Because at the end of the day, a laptop, a phone is just a piece of glass. And your whole existence is just looking at it. Before, though, I give you more, I want to try a little technique that I was doing on top of this mountain while I was like almost freezing to death. Would you like to try out a little physical exercise with me? It's going to be very hard. Okay, enthusiastic crowd. Hell yeah. So there's 2 steps. The first one, you got to get up. Please, I beg you. Don't leave me hanging like that. All right, you got this. All right, all right. Appreciate you. First step is easy. Now, the second step is if you're freezing in the mountains and you don't know what to do, you should clap your hand 5 times. You ready? 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating in this little social experiment. It will warm you up for like 20 seconds and you're still going to die. So this is not actually a good technique, but I like that you guys try it out. You have an open mind, which is great. So, moving on, right? The problem that I found is like, I'm just consuming all day long. I'm just looking at all these viral posts, all this content, all these videos, but what am I actually doing? When people ask me, what do you do? I make what, PowerPoint presentations? I go on Teams meetings? Like, what is that exactly, right? So this is something that maybe it's also relevant to you. Overconsumption. Also because when we think about life, there's 2 ways to live it. Now, I know some of you have plans for the next 2 years, 5 years. I don't think that's really relevant. Like, if you stop and think about your life, what you thought you're going to do 5 years ago, did it actually happen nowadays? Probably not. Life took a very different direction. So then a different way of understanding things is like, what do you actually do every hour? Every hour of your day, what do you do? How many of you analyze that? Some of you not. Maybe you do journaling, maybe you do some introspection, right? But keep that in mind, your hours. There are 2 ways to spend it, right? So there is being in the flow, being in a creative flow, doing things, moving, dancing. There's hundreds of activities out there. Or there's static consumption. You just sit, and you look, and you think, okay? So keep in mind, there's different ways to approach your daily hours. So then in my state in January, I was like, what could I do to change things? And I tried something called project learning. Are you familiar with what that is? Right, so in university or in school, they teach you theory and you go back home and you do homework and nobody cares. That's pretty much it. In project learning, I give you a task and you're supposed to give me a transformation. You have a task on Monday and on Sunday, I want to see a change. It's a project. You can do this with clients, you can do this with yourself, you can do this in many areas of your life, right? So you have in mind something that you want to change. So you're learning skills because you need to apply them. Not because you need to know some facts, some theory. And why did I do this? Well, the answer is not that nice. I don't know what to say. It's like, I just wanted to feel alive again. Simple as that. I was like, I don't know, how is this possible? I should be so happy and I'm not. So I need to do something to just feel again alive. That's the truth. So then, my genius idea was to text all my friends around the globe, and they gave me ideas. Terrible ideas. Because I was asking them, hi there, we haven't talked in 3 months, but what is one skill that would change your life? And they came with all these ideas. They were like, you should do cold survival. I was like, that was so rough. You should make a chair. And I was like, huh? A chair? I'm a tech nerd. Like, what do I know about chairs? You should play guitar. You should learn an instrument. You should talk to 50 strangers. Do you know how hard that is for like an IT nerd to go approach people on the streets and like, can I interview? He's like, no. I was like, oh my God. Like my day's ruined. So I did all of these. I put them on a backlog and I started trying things out. Right? This was me freezing on top of the mountain. Done. Playing guitar in Palermo. Making one of the most unique chairs in the world, okay? I made this for my little sister. What you don't see from this picture, it actually has like a fifth leg, the chair, because it's kind of unstable, but when you put the fifth leg, it kind of stays up. And it's hella cute too, right? I went to the US. I left Bansko in the winter because I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to Santa Barbara on the beach and interview random people and see how that goes, and maybe they will not shoot me. So that's me interviewing a squirrel. And then I was staying for 7 hours in a room with no phone, no books, no laptop, nothing. 7-hour time lapse from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Do not do that. It's a rather dangerous experiment. If you want to know more, I can tell you about it after. This would be a whole talk in itself, but it was very unexpected what happened. But this was, again, just to have like a kind of a dopamine reset, but it was not really scientific. I did something that well, anyway. Going forward after these things, right? So again, I was starting with bigger tasks. Things that maybe not everybody would do. But then it went also in a different direction. Making little origami birds. How many of you can make those? A good amount. That's so cute. I love that. These things, do you know how much they help with conversions and business? When people come to you at a conference, you're like, can I have your business card? Whatever. Like, they're so boring. You hit them with one of these little paper birds and they will remember you for the rest of their lives. Do you understand what that means? Cool. Making 100 cold calls. Again, it's a nightmare for some people, but it would make you so much money. How many of you do cold calls? It's a very easy way to make a lot of money fast, but you don't pick up the phone and call people that might need your services because your ego will get bruised. Learning to play guitar, I managed to get a free omelet by doing that. So I had people asking me, I was like, are you a musician? I was like, I don't know, I got a free omelet, how about you? So like, you know, this is why, I'm going to address this, by the way. I want you to see these pictures because it can be you in 1 week. It can be you doing these things. It does not take genius or skill or nothing, man. I've been doing it for like 7 days, going from nothing to being a little clumsy guy to getting some form of results. But it changed my life incredibly. And it's not about money. And it's not about freedom. And it's not about funnels or business or whatever. Doing magic. I was trying to do magic tricks in Texas. I had like my Adidas Eastern European boy outfit with a Texas hat. That didn't work out that well because like half of the time my tricks did not work. So then I was in awkward situations where like, look, this is going to disappear, and it didn't. I was like, the magic of failing, haha, right? This one I was trying to make jokes. I don't know if it worked today. Like I have a few more, but I'm probably not going to say them right now on the live stream. Doubling strength, which was an interesting one. Like I didn't thought that was possible to do, but apparently when you actually do things instead of just looking at YouTube videos, incredible things can happen. what is now going back to you, right? So after half a year of doing this, half a year, every week on Monday I wake up, I think about a challenge, and then on Sunday I gotta deliver something to people. My little sister's following this little newsletter. My mom is looking all the times at these. People around the globe are looking at them. So like, what did you do this week? What other things did you learn? And I was like, what can you give me some tips? Because I share the tips, right, what I'm learning. And these are 3 non-AI lessons. Non-AI. How many of you here use AI? Terrible invention, terrible. Cannot relate. I might do B2B AI consulting, but that's another topic. Don't use that. Non-AI, so like no ChatGPT is going to tell you why that guy's wife left. This was a talk I had in Santa Barbara, but this is a story for another time. It's not my wife, by the way. It was the driver's wife, just to clarify this. So the 3 lessons are: start now and bad for 7 days. The issue that I've been finding, why do people not live happy lives, even though they have money and all these crazy cool things and they can travel and they have freedom, is because they're afraid to start new things, right? They say, I would like to play an instrument, but I'm not good at it, and it's going to take me 6 months. It's not true. It is not true. So you should start not in 1 month, not next year, but this year, now, today. Why not? And do it badly for 7 days. So give yourself permission. You would say, look, from Monday to Friday, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be garbage at it. Do you feel actually comfortable doing something like that? I heard 2 yeses. Raise your hand, if because this is not an easy question, I know, but like, would you feel comfortable starting something today for 7 days and doing it badly? So I give myself permission for 7 days to suck. Like half of the room. This is interesting to notice. You see? Cool. This was with the weights. I was like, can I double my strength in like in 1 week? And actually the answer is no. I can only increase it by like a 65%, which is still amazing. Who wouldn't want that? So then, the second thing that I started noticing, these patterns, is that small or big counts. In the beginning, right, I started doing these crazy challenges, like being on top of the mountain for half an hour, naked to do cold survival. Like, okay, you cannot tell other people to start doing that. That's a bit crazy. But then the simple things were like making a cheesecake. That's why I asked you the question, right? In the beginning, you saw how to make life more tasty. I love cheesecake. I'm not able to produce it. And ChatGPT is not helpful. I cannot just prompt it and see the cheesecake. Now I can buy them, of course, and I can buy thousands of them. But then I was like, it would be cool to make them, right? It couldn't be that hard. And it's not. Actually, I have a recipe that I got from Claude that teaches me how to do it in like 25 minutes that I can share with you if you want. So I was noticing how I learned how to make this cheesecake. I'll tell you the full story. I had a very bad day that day, okay? It was a long day. I was super tired. It was 10 p.m. I went in the kitchen because I was visiting my family that day, like my mom and little sister in Italy. And I was complaining. I was like, I had so many calls. None of them were useful. This was so annoying. I'm so tired. So I started complaining for half an hour. It was rough. And my mom says, you keep complaining today. You didn't do anything else. Why don't you make this cheesecake that you promised to people? Come on, let's start making it. And I was like, but it's 10 p.m. Yeah, come on, let's do it. And I was like, okay. So we start breaking the biscuits, we take the Philadelphia cheese, we mix it. It takes us like 20 minutes, and we put it in the fridge. You have to put it for like 6 hours. You don't have to cook anything. Everything changed. I was like, the next morning, I went to sleep, right now I was thinking, tomorrow morning I wake up and have cheesecake. It's like, hell yeah, hell yeah. It's like it completely changed my mood. Like, it cost me, what, €5.20. I know it's expensive, but like, you could try this out. And it was nice because, like, I was sharing it with the family. We made it together. It's not the same as buying it, right, and just eating it. Think about that. This is a small thing. You don't have to risk your life on top of a mountain, right? Just risk your cooking skills with a loved one. Well, you can also say to your partners, like, hey, would you like to make cheesecake today? Your conversion chances are very high that they will say yes. Cool. Then the third thing that made a significant difference, again, the patterns that I've been noticing is like all of these challenges, all of these things that were happening, at the end of the day is with the people, for the people. Because we are social creatures by design. We are slowly kind of pushing away our nature with technology. Because the more time you spend on the laptops or on the phone, you're not really in contact with yourself. But for millennia, we've been connecting with people. That was our main task, actually, just to find food and connect with other humans. And nowadays, we found ways to kind of remove that component, which is wrong, I think. So then, I was learning to play guitar for myself, but for people, to entertain them a little bit, right? To play for them Stand By Me or Let It Be, because those are the two songs I can only play. But you know them though, so if I would play right now, I don't have the guitar, you would be able to sing it. Talking with strangers. This would be the skill that would change my life, and I failed this one, by the way. I went to Santa Barbara, I only talked with 24 strangers. I didn't have the courage to talk with all 50 of them. It felt too awkward. And I would like to change that. I will go back again and do this. But if you would talk with 50 strangers, I promise you it will change your life. But we don't do this enough because we're afraid of judgment for no reason. Learn fishing. How many of you can fish? How many of you caught a fish in the last year? Like what, 3 people, huh? You'd be surprised. It's an extremely boring thing to look at, but it's actually so nice for focus and enjoying nature. This is just an example. These are things that it cost me, I think, 24 euro to buy the rod. I had the Italian uncle teach me the forbidden hacks, how to put the bait and everything, and I was like, oh, thank you so much, Mr. Giuseppe, for like the teachings. So I actually managed to connect with the old guys at the harbor, which was great. They were cool guys, by the way. Right, interviewing people, learning about them, giving them photos at the Grand Canyon. So all of these allowed me to get more in touch with people, especially for the IT and tech and AI nerds out there. It is becoming a growing problem. When you talk with agents all day long, it's not healthy. No thought leader on LinkedIn discusses about this, but this was one of my problems. So then, keep this in mind. At the end of the day, you can be as smart as you want, and you can think as much as you want. But life is built from what you do, not from what you think, from what you do. People remember you because you did something. They didn't remember you for your thoughts in your head. They remembered you because you went in, you danced with them, and you cooked together, and you talked about something interesting, and you went to get some food with them, yes? Right? You think about it actually, just for a second. Everybody remembers you for what you did. And this is the Banitsa granny. How many of you know her? Yeah, oh geez, Bansko, oh geez. This was one of the challenges I remember, like trying to learn Bulgarian, and I know like 3 sentences, a little hack for you. Because I learned to say like, Аз съм Alex, my name is Alex. Аз Acha Bulgarski, I am practicing Bulgarian. And Imam Obuvki. Ha, the Bulgarians know, it means I have shoes. So it's like, why would you say that? Well, because look, to make people smile in the first 20 seconds of an interaction, it's actually a superpower that you don't even think about it. It can help you in relationships, in business, in family, whatever. It's super powerful. And all I had to do is to learn these things, and I was ignorant for a long time. I traveled half of the globe, and I never put that little effort into learning the language of the locals to make them smile, right? You learn the vocabulary, the grammar, whatever, but that doesn't make people smile. So now you should technically have the hack to make the Banitsa lady smile. So then this is kind of the takeaway, right? So for any skill that you have in mind right now, you would start it in 7 days and you would do it badly. The unlock here would be still that if you ask AI to coach you a little bit, you would get progress much faster, right? Because let's say instead of maybe spending months on making mistakes that other people did, you could ask it to coach you and it would say, what are the most common beginner mistakes? So that the AI would kind of know or do some research for you to help do this faster. But ideally, look, the structure is simple. You pick one skill, anything can be, small things, huge things, whatever you want, 7 days, and you do it badly. You accept to do it badly. As simple as that. And you're going to be surprised. I promise you'll be surprised what happens in the next days. So I think that's all that I had for this one, yes. So my call to action would be to pick one skill, but it can be anything. Like, for example, this week, my skill is giving people compliments, because I suck at giving compliments. I never give them. So I'm practicing that. But it can be anything. So if you take a little minute right now, and you think, what is one thing that I would love to know more about? Because again, keep in mind, our life gets meaning and joy and taste and flavor by the things we do. Usually for us, but mostly for others. And if you have no skills, how can you impact other people's lives? 10 years ago, when I used to make $3 per hour just washing frying pans, my life was miserable because I did not have any useful skills. That's the truth. It sucks. But when you understand these things, you can change. So, that's it.
Thank you, Alex. It's very interesting. My first question to you is, what was your favorite skill that you learned out of all 53?
Making the chair. It was hard as I cannot say because look, I never took a saw in my whole life, you know. So two things happened. Two things happened actually. So because like I went to the what do you call that? Like a bricoio, I don't know, like where you can buy these hardware stuff, you know. And I went there. There was a lady. Like, I go to her. It's like I need to make a chair in 7 days. She's like, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't know. Give me wood, whatever you guys have to make that happen. Which is great because when you are working on these little skills, now you have an excuse to talk with everybody. A lot of times I hear from people, I don't know how to connect with others because I don't know what to say. So for me, honestly, I always have something to say. It's like I'm going to go to a stranger and say, it's like, I love your shoes, you know, you make a bold decision this morning to wear them. I don't know, it's a mixed feelings compliment, you know, but they're like, what the hell? Look, I'm practicing compliments. I didn't say I'm good at it, I'm just practicing. And then you start the conversation. But you have excuses to actually talk to people and relate naturally. You don't need to force anything. Right? So the chair part is, and my friends that are smarter than me, they're like, oh, did you get the electrical saw? And I was like, no, I got like a normal saw. Oh, good luck. It's like, why? And then I'm like at 8 p.m. in the night, in the dark, just trying to cut this wood, man, and it sucked. It was like so hard, but then, because I was there for like 5 hours, I have a whole time lapse, because I try to do like daily updates on these challenges on Instagram, right? And also share them in the newsletter that I share like every week. What did I learn? How it can make your life better? So simple things. It's all free that I'm doing. So then I'm like, for hours there, grudging at this chair, starting from 4 p.m. And at 9 p.m., I'm like, it's dark, I'm tired, but I have a chair to sit on. And I was like, oh, my back hurts so much. And it was so nice. I was like, I made this. This is my chair. And then I painted it pink for my little sister, and then it was like, this is so nice. I made something out of thin air. Can you say the same about PowerPoint presentations? I mean, I don't know. If you turn off the computer, they never existed.
Yeah, I love that. It's like you had something that was going to last. It was something that was going
Forever,
to last
for
for someone
generations.
else as well.
If you don't
Let's
sit
hope
too hard,
so.
yeah, if you don't sit too hard on it.
Okay, so related to that, because I want to know how long it took you to make that chair. How much time in your day were you dedicating to each of your weekly projects? And how are you thinking about your available time when you started this journey of 53 projects in 1 year?
Yeah, around 1 hour per day. Because ideally, I wanted it to be something that everybody could do, right? So I built this for myself to get, again, life energy, but I also wanted to be relevant to my friends, right? Or to the people around me that don't have maybe disposable income like that or all this freedom. So I was like, I need to do something that they could do. And they have no excuse not to do. Because look, when people say, I want to learn to play an instrument, but I never had the time in my career. It's like, so if you're really serious about this, you could take a 1-week vacation, you go to Italy to the beach, you buy a cheap guitar and you practice for 7 days. And you know 3 songs, and now you can say that you're a musician. Not a good one, but a musician. If you're not doing that, it's a personal choice.
So, how did you come up with these 53 ideas?
Craziness. I asked people. In the beginning, I had like a structured approach, so they gave me all this feedback, all these ideas, and I put them in a plan. And then I kind of like vibe skill them during the weeks. Because I talk with people, and they tell me like, oh, you know, I've been struggling with staying away from the phone. I was like, can we do digital detox? Can we see if people can stay without their phone every day for like 5 hours? And they cannot. It's crazy. Or people say, it's like, oh, you should learn maybe how to give compliments because you never give them. But, you know, your friends would be happy if you give them more. I was like, okay, let me put this on the list and try out. Or I'm not funny at all. So I was like, can I actually put in some effort to make people smile? Because look, at the end of the day, what appears to you to be something natural and spontaneous, you have a lot of control on it if you just dedicate some time to practice and make those mistakes and get better.
Okay, can you tell us more about your experiment sitting in the room from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. with no phone? We want more details.
So the first 3 hours are great. It's boring, but when you finish them, 3 hours, because I did every day I was doing 1 hour extra, right? So first day, 1 hour, second day, 2 hours, gradually increasing it. So when you do like around 3 hours, you finish from the room or whatever, and you feel relaxed. You're finally feeling peace again. It removes a lot of the anxiety, and it's great. 7 hours, back then I had like no watch, no timer, no nothing, just an alarm at 2 p.m. And I was there since like 7 a.m. and it was dark outside. So then at one point I'm like, I was feeling angry randomly. I started getting memories from 10 years ago because, and I was like, why is this, I don't understand, like why is my peace falling apart? Because a lot of times in our daily lives, because we are so busy and so distracted, we never spend time in accepting maybe some difficult emotions or understanding some deeper parts of us, because we just have another email to check, something else to learn, another place to go. So then, when I gave myself all that time with no distractions, those things naturally came up. So that was a challenge, and that's what I'm saying. I was there, I was trying to meditate, I was like doing a little bit of push-ups, just staying in the room there and trying to focus and keep my calm. But for some people, they might struggle with that. So that's why I would advise you maybe to do it guided by a professional. I'm just crazy. I'm just gonna put it to the test, and if I go insane, that's it. That's the last video you're gonna see.
Was it a silent kind of day as well? Were you allowed to talk to yourself or write in a journal, things like that?
No. So I was in this room, if some of you know, there's like a network, the co-working, they have this huge room. Because some people, like that video, like that time lapse, super shitty quality, I just posted on Twitter and something, got 500,000 views. And people were like, wow, this is insane. I was like, what? What do you mean? And a lot of people were like, why don't you do this in nature? Well, it doesn't count, because in the nature, of course, you're distracted, right? You see the forest, you enjoy the birds, but in a room, when you're stuck with yourself for 7 hours, it's a very different experience. It's valuable, it's powerful, but there are some risks in it. That's why I wanted you to know a little bit more about this, so don't be careful with this.
Thanks for giving us more details on that. Okay, now skill-wise, what was the most useful skill you learned, besides bachata, of course?
Bachata was very useful, I guess, because I'm quite stiff, I would say. That helped me a little bit more. There's a good amount of them, I would say. Again, I would say, even the ones that I failed, like talking with strangers, that was one of the most useful, I would say, because you work on yourself while you're doing these skills. You're basically fighting a little bit your own demons every time that you decide to persist. So for me, I knew it's like, look, as an entrepreneur, as a traveler, as a person that's growing and learning, what is my number one block? That I'm kind of shy and I would love to talk with people, but I just don't have the courage sometimes, right? I see them and it's like, hey, these people seem interesting. I go say something, they're busy, don't say it. And then I feel bad. I go back home and it's like, why didn't I talk with that person? Like, I'm such an idiot, right? So for me, putting myself out there and trying to learn this, and now I would say I got a little bit better too, it was a huge change in my life, right? I feel that I can actually talk naturally with strangers, and that opened up a lot of possibilities, opportunities, connections around the globe that made my life much better. And again, it has nothing to do with money.
Okay, this next question is really interesting. Have any of the skills unexpectedly complemented each other or combined into something new?
Yes. Great question, this one. Very good one. Because I got haters, for example, okay? When I'm doing these challenges, even close friends, they're like, oh, so now you're mediocre in 53 things. They could say that. Yeah, I multiple times of hate. They're like, oh, but you're not a real musician. Or it's like, but that chair sucks. You could have done it better. Fair enough. People criticize all day long, but actually do nothing about it. So like when I compare how many chairs I did compared to them, it's like 1-0. But that's not the point. The point is I've been noticing, right? So I learned to play guitar, then make a little bit of jokes, and then do a little bit of dancing, right, whatever. And then I'm noticing that they compound together, right? So now you're going from this awkward person that struggles in some situations to being able to conversate with people much more easily, to make them smile, to be useful for them. And you don't measure this, like nobody thinks about this. The human brain is not made to understand compounding effects, but it happens. So that's why the whole process is valuable. Because then it unlocks a whole new area. Even this one, like that was asked before, like with the bachata, right? I would go to these events, and it's nice to see people dance, especially when it's a bit more technical, right? And it looks beautiful, but I could not. So then what do? I stay at the bar and drink 3 beers. That's not an optimal experience, in my opinion. So now that I learned in 7 days, and my friends helped me to practice it, and I can do a little bit of, I can dance like a full song, 3 minutes with like 5 moves, I have access to a different kind of people now. These are people who like to dance, who like to move, that I normally never find in the tech circles. I've been to San Francisco, I've been to Vegas, and many places, right, at technical conferences. These are all like tech nerds like me. So we talk all day long about agents and LLMs and whatever, but I don't have access to those other types of people with their ideas, with their universe, that would enrich me a lot, right? You know, you don't think about these things, how it can unlock you whole new delicious slices of your life.
All right, Alex, one last question. This is really cool. Have you considered doing a book or product about this, like a challenge a week and a box of small projects with the bits people need?
Yeah, but I first need to maintain my promise. So what you saw today, right, learning 53 skills in 52 weeks, it's not done. It's only half of the way. I did it every week for half a year, this craziness, but it's not done. So ideally, if I would make a book or a product, it would need to be when I finish all of this. And by then, maybe I might be dead. Maybe I'm going to do some crazy challenge and you're not going to see anything
Pistachios?
anymore. Pistachios, there you
Pistachios
go.
may kill you
Yeah, yeah.
first.
So I'm doing what I'm promising to people, and when I finish all of this, then you could probably maybe have the book next year, if I'm still alive.
All right. Thank you so much. Perfect timing. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Alex.
Appreciate you.
Go out and try new skills. And come back. We have one more speech for you in 10 minutes where you can leverage your superpowers as a third culture kid. So stick around.
Thank you, brother. All right, let me know the equipment I need to give you. I hope it was not too boring. I missed a few components to it, but I think it was okay. Yeah, yeah, cool. Thank you for coming also to Compliment Corner the other day. Yes, try them out. Try them out, yeah. Get some inspiration. Yes,
Really? Yeah. You can adjust it if you want. That feels good. Yeah, perfect. Hello. Yeah.
How you feeling?
Great. I'm excited.
Can I ask how you say your last name?
Benemu.
Benemu.
Yeah. Amazing.
I want to let you know that depending, at the beginning, because everybody's here and they're like waiting for something, I'm going to say the announcements
Yeah.
for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So
no
we'll
problem.
end 5 minutes late.
No problem.
And we're going to do a little bit of Norwegian rowing, if you know what I mean. Have you seen that on the
Oh, yeah.
Just make her
Nice.
just to pump them up before
Nice.
so
Perfect.
just first 5 minutes I'll be doing some.
My presentation's also a little bit shorter, so we'll have time. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll just when we run out of questions, depending on that, we'll just end.
Yeah. And I'm assuming there's like a clicker or something
There it is. Oh, clicker. There it is.
for the presentation.
There's the clicker. Yeah, let's get Lucia to Lucia. She's just got the clicker. Yes.
Mhm.
Maybe
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Mic'd up. Definitely gonna get. Hi. Mark-Jan. Nice to meet you. This is Roman, by the way, my videographer. Okay. Cool.
You can have your slides there and a little or like clicker. So like it goes to sleep and when you start it might take a few flags to get started. Afterwards it should be fine.
Nice.
If it doesn't work, whatever, he'll move the slides but it should work perfectly fine. And then that's a timer, so when you start speaking we'll put it from 30 minutes counting down so you know how much to
Yeah. Hey, I won't go. It'll be shorter. Am I pointing this way or?
Yes, better that way.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think that's about it.
All right.
So you're over your mic. Okay. So Becky's gonna give a little introduction about you like a minute and then you'll go up and the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Lucia. All right. You sound like you can steal the spotlight. Nice. Very fun. Very fun.
Two of the guys were asked randomly by people in the street last night to do it, and there's a cool video of 20 of them
Oh yeah.
just sitting on the stones, like waiting to go.
That's cool.
This is a real trend.
So is this the last talk, right?
It's the last time.
Okay. Cool.
That's kind of nice too, because we can either end early and late. It's fine.
Yeah. Cool.
We've had panels all week, so you're our first speech that's not a panel with like chairs.
Okay.
Last session.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Well, I hope I can end the week strong and help inspire everyone.
No, we've got 4 more speeches tomorrow.
Okay.
But I think
Cool.
Friday, and the it's coming, so we'll just be talking.
I can understand after a week of talks, it can feel a little tiring. Yeah. Do I need to register anywhere for that?
Oh yeah, you need to buy a ticket.
Okay. Cool. Through the app.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, I'm like, I forget because I don't have to pay for the ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you have to get it. That was the one perk thing I offered. There was like free accommodation. So you can get a free ticket. I'm like, thanks. Like,
Yeah.
no, I do have free accommodation. That's why I was like, but, you know, otherwise, I thought that's nice. Well,
Nice.
last year I volunteered, but just doing night stuff, so it didn't include these free. You had to pay for some of these activities.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll sign up for that. I think it's just ticket, but I'll just I'll get a ticket for the posting. Thanks. Yeah.
I read the bio that you have on the app, and it says at the end, like, living my dream life in New York City, and I was like, oh, nice.
Yes.
The dream life.
Yes. 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 New York is so exciting. I moved there this year, and
I bet. And it says you're retired, meaning, like,
Yeah.
yeah, conceptually retired.
yeah. Yeah.
And you're in your 20s, right?
Yeah. I'm 28. It's a funny word, but yeah,
Can you explain how you did that in your... No,
I'll do. I'll make another. Building a business, being a content creator for 10 years.
Content creation,
Yeah, I turned it into like a media company. We had 15 employees at our peak, so, and I just like saved up the money that we were making.
You still have the company, though.
I still have the pages, but we don't post anymore. Thank you. Thanks for coming by.
Because I haven't made any for very long. And we'll do Norwegian row, so if you want to, we're into that now. So. We'll see how this goes. It's just an experiment.
Yeah, yeah, but you got to make the content. If you're talking to someone who gets it.
Mount the stage or whatever.
Yeah.
I will be escorting you on the stage.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's like mag safe thing. Cool.
It's really strong.
Nice.
I'm really happy about it because it's full of tech.
Yeah.
You just put it on the floor and it likes pop.
I have a tripod that's similar. It's not the magnet, but also sturdy. Nice.
That's the last thing I'm going to talk about. Yeah.
Let's film a little clip right now. Just I'll say what I'm doing. You can just film. No, just film me here. You tell me when. Yeah. So I'm about to talk about building our dream lives through the lens of a third culture kid. Sweet. Sweet.
Testing. Okay. Hey guys, I've got you captive here as we're waiting for our final speech of the day. So I'm going to start with a few announcements. The first announcements of the day, actually. So, just as we've had all week, you can get a festival lunch from 12:30 to 4 from Unique Bansko in the park. Also, we're going to have the Brown Industry Tent. There are new sponsors there today from 2 to 5. Don't have that list today, but make sure you stop by and get your chance to speak with them. Also, from 12:45 to 2 in the park between tents 8 and 9, we're having the Athens Greek meeting. It's like a lunch where they're going to have Greek salad. You can learn more about Greece and the Athens Nomad Fest coming up. So 12:45 to 2, go and check that out in the park. Also, we have a Nomads lunch for those who are thinking about or want to learn more about trading options. That is from 12:50 to 1:55. The name of the restaurant is in the app. It's actually a 2-minute walk from here. So if you want to learn more about options at lunch, feel free to join. Also, we have all of our unconference topics like we've been having every day this week from 2 to 5. So we want to see some of you there, or all of you there. At 6 p.m., we have a community dinner at Lobna Shrestha. That is 6 to 8. And my biggest announcement, for me, it's the biggest announcement of the whole week because it's my favorite, is the big Pulse Therma pool party tonight. It's from 7:30 to 11. How many of you are planning to go? I want to see everybody raise their hands because it is about a 10-minute drive from Bansko. We're going to start having shuttle buses take you there from 6:30 to 7:30. There's going to be 2 places the shuttle buses will pick up. It's right in front of Umbrella Bar. Umbrella Bar is in the park. It's where we've had all the karaoke and the acoustic music jam. They've been playing a lot of World Cup games there. So right in front on the street, they will pick you up. Also next to 94 Piran Street, next to a place called Happy End. That is up by the gondola. So if you're staying up there, we make it easy to get picked up. So I'm telling you guys, last year I was there. This is a really fun, crazy party. They're gonna have a DJ there. They're actually renting out the whole place for us. So this is a really special time to go. It is a paid ticket. So go into the app and make your payment, but I promise you it's worth it. There's even gonna be a drone show in front of above the pool. And last year we did a fun whirlpool in the big pool as well, which was pretty crazy. So guys, don't miss it. And also, I think it may go without saying, but if any of you go to Japan and have been to hot springs there, they don't wear clothes. You gotta wear clothes here, okay? Bring your bikini. Don't forget your swimming costume, as they like to call it in the UK. Or you'll have a very strange time at that party. Okay, now I want to try something interesting with you guys today, just to warm us up for this last speech. Can I have everybody stand up, and in your row that you're in, I see a guy in a row by himself. If you can come to the middle, okay, come to the middle and stand shoulder to shoulder just for a moment. We're going to try for 1 minute, an experiment here. So come to the center, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, he got a friend. Good. Okay, I don't know now this happened to 2 of our Bansko Nomad Fest members yesterday. These 2 people found, shoulder to shoulder, guys. Come on. Okay, 2 guys were approached by 2 Norwegians on the street, and they said, "Can you row with us?" She's already rowing. She knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so I don't have a drum or a Viking hat, and neither do you. You're from Norway?
World Cup.
Do you want to come up here? It's
No.
Me neither. But
With what?
sorry, can you say that one more time?
Nice. Good for you, man.
Yes, I saw that video. It was so adorable. You're canoeing because you're Canadian. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is, can you hear this? That's my drum. I'm going to stomp 2 times. Row. She's coming up. I need a proper Norwegian. By the way, yes. Do you want to say row for all of us? I can stomp. You can say row.
I can say row?
You can say row. I'll stomp for you. Okay. You can say whatever Norwegian you want to say.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So I'll do 2 stomps, and then you can say whatever
Row.
you want, and they're going to row.
Okay. I haven't seen those.
Sound
Yeah.
very Norwegian.
Yeah. OK, gutta, er dere klare?
You guys ready? Let's test it. Okay, so.
Ro!
Thank Thank you. I'm so happy we found someone from Norway. They're playing tonight at 9 o'clock while we're soaking in the hot springs. Okay, so hopefully Norway versus France. That's a hard game. That's going to be fun. Okay, thank you guys so much. Now, without further ado, our final speech of the day is going to be about leveraging your superpowers. And trust me, this guy has a lot of superpowers, which I hope you're going to find out all of them during this speech. We are going to be able to build our dream life as a third culture kid. So, Markian Benamou, he's a French-American entrepreneur who grew up in Russia, Spain, and Hong Kong. Wow. He is, after ending his 10-year chapter as a content creator and traveling the world on a self-discovery journey, he is now building a movement for third culture kids to give a sense of belonging to those who struggle with the question, where am I from? He also went to all 7 continents in 1 year. Markian Benamou, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. Third culture kids have superpowers. If you know what a third culture kid is, I want you to stand up right now. Okay. We got about half the room. I want you to stay standing if you think you are a third culture kid. Okay, cool. Well, nice to see that some non-TCKs know what third culture kids. You can exactly, parents. This is a good step. You guys can sit back down. Thank you. So, what is a third culture kid? What are these superpowers, and how does this apply to you? And if you're not a third culture kid too, don't worry. This applies to you too. It's loading. Okay, so I think the best first place for me to start is to share where I'm from, which is one of the hardest questions for me to answer. So my mom is Ukrainian American, my dad is French Moroccan Jewish. I was born in London, and I grew up in Russia, Spain, and Hong Kong. So how should I answer where are you from? Quite a struggle. I'm what's called a third culture kid. And a third culture kid is a person who grew up between 2 or more cultures and doesn't feel like they fully belong anywhere. This is my experience. I feel like I'm from everywhere, but I belong nowhere. Common TCK experiences are expat kids. Is that maybe we have some nomads? Military kids, missionary kids, diplomat kids, but also children of, whose parents come from 2 different cultures, or children of immigrants, children of refugees. So let me break down where the word actually comes from. This is a word that was invented 70 years ago, but it just never has had a really good marketing team, which is our home culture. Our home culture is where our parents are from. Now, the second culture is our host culture, which is where we grew up. And for most people, these 2 cultures would be the same. But if these 2 cultures are different, then we develop a third culture. Now, the third culture shares commonalities with each of the other cultures, but then there's this really unique space in between, as you can see, which is the liminal space. And this is the part where whenever I meet another TCK, I feel like they just get it. They get that experience of navigating between cultures, of never really fitting into one. And being a third culture kid has its challenges. We don't know where we're from. We suffer from a sense of cultural identity crisis, loss, grief when we move to different places. And, for a lot of TCKs, this might be a negative experience. What I'm really passionate about is seeing our TCK experience from being a burden to a gift. And that's because I believe we have superpowers. I think we have many superpowers. We are adaptable. You could drop me in any country, and I would easily be able to adapt. We have an open worldview. We know that life isn't just one way. We've seen many types of ways of life. We are critical thinkers. We are bridges. We know that life isn't binary, which is where a lot of people get stuck. But there's one superpower which I think is the greatest, and that is the ability to develop agency. So what's agency? Agency is the belief that the outcomes in our lives are determined by our actions. So someone with high agency is someone who believes that they are in the driver's seat of their lives, that they create their own destiny, that they are doers. Someone with low agency probably has a victim mindset who feels like life is happening to them. They don't do anything about it, and they just complain. So before I tell you how to develop agency and how to activate these superpowers, I want to tell you how I came to this conclusion. So in a past life, I was a content creator. I developed a channel called Smile Squad. We made videos, relatable comedy skits about different cultures. And I did this over the course of 10 years, and we accumulated 15 million followers, 10 billion views. And as you can see, we made all these skits about different cultures, and it was amazing. It brought the world together. And there's really one thing that I learned about culture, is that culture is just a set of rules. Culture is just a set of rules about what we believe, what we eat, what we wear, how we treat others. We just mimic what we generally see our parents do and our community do. And being a third culture kid, we realize, oh, well, these rules aren't truth. It's just this culture believes this thing, and this culture believes this thing. And culture is important in our formative years because it gives us a sense of identity. And also it gives us the rules to play with life. And for a third culture kid, this can be really disorienting because, well, we're navigating between cultures, so which rules do we play by? Which culture do we belong to? But here's where I think our superpower lies, is that instead of fitting into a culture and playing by their rules, we can just create our own rules. So for example, for me, I love how my Moroccan side eats food and shares food. So I'm gonna share my meals kind of family style. And I love the entrepreneurial spirit of my American side. So that's how that's where I take my inspiration for my dedication to my work. But they focus too much on work. So I like the quality of life of my Spanish side. So I'm building life on my terms. And this is agency. And why I think this is we're in a really unique experience, we have a unique advantage for this, is because we have less to break free from. We don't have the chains of our community and culture bringing us down in a way. We have the freedom to pick life the way that we want it. Think of someone who comes from a monocultural background, grew up in the same place as their parents is for generations. If they want to live life on their terms, which means changing something out of the norm, they have a lot more to break free from. And it's a worthy cause, nonetheless, to live life on your terms, but I think we have a natural advantage towards this. And my favorite analogy for what a third culture kid is the Uno wild card. So while most people are born into a color, red, green, blue, yellow, and each color has their own rules and they stick together, we're the wild cards. We can pick any color we want, which can be lonely because the wild cards are, they're scattered until we find our other wild cards. This is my favorite analogy and the logo that I've used for my club, which I'll tell you about. So how do we develop high agency? So I came across this article, which I'm going to summarize the main points, which I felt was really interesting. So the first step is more creation, less consumption. Getting in the habit of building, getting in the habit of doing, of creating. I've realized that successful people shorten the time between a thought and an action. So whenever they have an idea, they do it. Assertive communication. This one I didn't expect to see, but I'm realizing how the way that I express myself and what I say has an impact on how I show up in life and the outcomes of my lives. So assertive communication is speaking directly, speaking honestly, even if people might disagree. Be around high agency people. This one's obvious. We are the average of the 5 people around us, so let's pick wisely. Clarify personal values. This one I think would be easy to discard as something very abstract, but I'm realizing that it's actually maybe the deepest of them all, which is to understand ourselves. And by knowing ourselves, by knowing who we are, what we want, what kind of life we want to live, it creates the compass for decision making. And at the root of this, there's one question, and that's who am I? Which I have a very personal relationship with. Who has asked themselves this question deeply in their lives? Who am I? So I started making videos when I was 15. I dropped out of university, I built a media company, we had 15 employees at our peak, and by the end of this 10-year period, I reached the end of my life cycle as a creator. The same way a business has a life cycle, creators have their own life cycle. The channel was declining, I was stressed, managing a team, and I had these internal questions of, who am I? And especially as a content creator, we know that people like creators because they're authentic, and I was telling myself, okay, I've changed a little bit, I need to be more authentic in my content. But then the natural next question is, what is my authentic self? And so I had this idea. this thought. With all these things coming together, I said, what if I just stop? What if I just stop working? Stop being a creator? I had saved up enough money to not work for a good chunk of time. And when I had this idea of, what if I just stop and go discover myself and follow these internal questions, it just felt right. So I closed the company. I stopped making videos with all this channel, which wasn't an obvious thought at first because there's always more views, more subscribers, more money to make. And I decided to go on a self-discovery journey. And for the next 3 years, I went on this most epic journey, traveling around the world, going through all the continents, just being a free bird. It was honestly the adventure of a lifetime. Just buying one-way tickets, going wherever I felt like going. Just imagine being 25 years old with zero obligations, not having to work, having 2 passports, a French and American passport, which gets you everywhere in the world, and traveling on an unlimited budget. And at the core of this, the purpose was really to discover myself. This was my intention. So I signed up for every personal development, retreat, seminar, conference that people recommended, thinking, well, I'd probably learn something from each, and I did. I did this personal development at Landmark. I went to Fiji to attend a Tony Robbins conference. I did inner engineering by Sadhguru as well, and I learned something from each one. But I want to tell you about one that really stood out for me. And this is the very first thing that I did. When I left LA, I bought a one-way ticket to Mexico, and I went to attend a silent retreat. Anyone heard of a silent retreat before? Nice, most of you guys. Anyone done a silent retreat? 1 person, 2 people, a couple people up there? Cool. And the concept is you don't speak for 10 days. You're in a retreat center with 100 people. You don't look at anyone. You don't non-verbally communicate, and you have a guru who basically leads you through a meditation retreat. So you're meditating 7 hours a day. And this experience really completely changed the way that I see myself and my life. And the one lesson that I got from this is actually a lesson that I realized all the other retreats were teaching, just in their own ways. And the lesson was learning to disidentify with the mind. The lesson was, I'm not my mind and I'm not my body. I'm the thing that observes the mind and the body, consciousness, awareness. And I learned this from an experiential level, not just reading in the book, which is what The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle teaches, exactly this line. But reading it just didn't stick. But when I'm deep in a meditation, I see the distance. Oh, I'm far away. There's 2 different things here. And that felt very empowering because I realized, I can live life on my terms. I can be conscious about the decisions that I make. I don't need to succumb to the automatic reactions of my mind, which is just a culmination of other people's voices, stories, experiences. Tony Robbins might call it pattern recognition. Landmark will call it genesis of identity. Therapy will call it the voice in our heads. Everyone has their own wording for it. But the way that I like to disidentify my mind is really this practice of daily inner observation. And everyone might have their own tools for this. For me, solo traveling was an incredible tool. Every day I'm alone with my thoughts, with my mind, with my feelings, my reactions, have the opportunity to just be. I've journaled every day for 4 years. That's been a really great tool that I wouldn't have expected to, again, put my thoughts down to paper and create that distance and separation. Meditation, of course, another great tool. And what I realized really is life is happening within. Things are meaningless, and we as humans put meaning on them. And really the only thing that matters is the experience of life that we all have within. We each perceive life through our own lenses. So I've really been obsessed with this word, being, something that we're not really taught to do. We know a lot about doing, and we're taught how to do, what to do with work, and what to do with our friends and whatever it may be, but being, this was a new word to me. And my motto for my self-discovery journey was, stop doing, start being. And I realized that if I reached almost a cap at the end of my last chapter as a content creator, like I couldn't do more, I was stressed, and I realized that if I wanted to do bigger and bigger things, I needed to become the person who could do bigger things. And so now, after 3 years of traveling around the world, I am done being a nomad. I have decided to settle down in New York and build community and build friendships, something that I've been missing in the last few years of my life. And I'm ready to hustle again. And New York has been the perfect place for that. And I feel very grateful that I finally found a place for this chapter of my life to build this life. And I've decided, hey, I'm here to build my dream life. I'm here to build my dream life. And not necessarily because of the privileged circumstances that I have, but because I say so. Because that's the intention that I said. That is agency. I'm going to find my dream home. I'm going to find my dream friends. I'm going to find my dream partner. Why not? I found my new thing. I was searching for the new thing. I stopped working. Now I want to work again, but I wanted to feel fulfilled, and that's going to come from helping others for a cause that I feel passionate about. Third Culture Kids has been that. I'm building a movement for third culture kids. My mission is to unite and bring a sense of belonging to TCKs. So a year ago in Paris, I started to host weekly meetups for TCKs. And this took off. I was making content about it. I built this club, posting a lot on social media, which then we expanded to 10 different cities around the world, all self-organized by members within our community. And then I said, how come there isn't an annual reunion for third culture kids? Why isn't there our own festival, our own Bansko Nomad Fest, but for third culture kids? This is inevitable that it's going to happen. So I said, all right, I'm going to make it happen. So I'm hosting TCK Fest in 6 days in Slovenia. I booked out a hotel, this very charming boutique hotel in the middle of nature, and I'm bringing 100 third culture kids together to bond over this dream summer experience for 4 days. It's going to be really exciting. We have, I think, 6 spots left, so if you're a TCK, come speak to me after. And really, my goal here is just to blow up this term. I just want everyone to know what third culture kid means. And maybe one day get third culture kid in the dictionary. That would be the biggest win. All this so that kids like my younger self know that they have a place they belong to, and they possess superpowers that are ready to be activated. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. Yeah, that got really deep, and you've learned so much over such a short time. But it's interesting. I know we go on all these nomad journeys too, and then it seems inevitable that we do want to go and find a base after we explore the world. Our first question is from a fellow TCK. How can we navigate conversations with others who are not like us, especially because if they don't have the means to travel and explore like us? And at the same time, how do we not come across as a culture bragger?
I think understanding that not everyone will understand. That's the first step. Yeah, not everyone will get what the third culture kid experience is. Part of my goal is to blow up this term so that people know that people live lives in different ways. But yeah, it's like people who don't know about other cultures. There's a lack of education. There's an ignorance there. So within that, there's empathy to have. Knowing that people don't get it and not taking it personally.
We didn't hear much about your childhood, and I'm curious what struggles that really particularly stood out for you that you faced as you, did you go and learn only in English as you were going through school, or what was that journey like?
I went to a French school in Russia, then I went to a British school in Spain and Hong Kong. And you know what? I actually had a very positive experience with my TCK background. Growing up around the world, I was lucky. And one thing that I'm careful of is when I talk about third culture kid experience on social media is to shine a light on the people who had negative experiences. Because a lot of people, I think it really depends how often you moved, at what ages you moved. Thankfully for me, my parents were very supportive and open-minded. They were like, hey, do you guys want to move to Hong Kong, to me and my sister? And we're like, yeah, that sounds fun. And my parents are TCKs too, and I think that really helps as well. I didn't have this tension of my parents are, rigid in their culture and I'm stuck in the host culture, and there's this tension. They don't know where they're a mixed bag as well. So we're all very, very fluid in this sense. So I had a very positive experience.
Did you find yourself I would imagine you might be very close to your sister throughout your childhood because you were the two that only you guys knew. You shared this unique experience together. Yeah, close to my sister. And actually, the part I was speaking yesterday about this is the hardest part, the 10% negative of my 90% positive experience.
the thing that I wish I had that I envy about people who grew up in the same place is having a childhood friend. Like having a friend that you've known since childhood, that sounds so special. And I don't have that because I moved several times in my life. So, and also it's not a guarantee that even if you stick in the same place, you'll find that. It's luck to some point. But that's probably the hardest part is it would sound nice to go back to the village reunion every Christmas, 30 people, family gatherings. It wasn't my experience, and I wouldn't change it, but that's the only negative for me.
Yeah, now you can create these experiences by bringing people together that you never got to meet when you were younger. I know, I'd seen another question. I'm going to ask you about that now. Can you tell us more about your TCK event?
Absolutely. It's called TCK Fest. And it's really to bring third culture kids together, to be in a room where we all feel like we get each other. And so it's very much, summer camp vibes. We have, families there. We have adult third culture kids. We'll roast s'mores by the campfire. We'll do workshops, having all these conversations that we probably wouldn't be able to have with people who don't share that same experience, and talk about identity and belonging and careers and dating and family and all these things. And it's in this beautiful nature of Slovenia.
Yeah, I think it's so important to do it in person too, right? It's so different from just posting on Reddit about it or, interfacing through the internet.
Yeah, it's all in person, like here where we are in Bansko, is the connection's unmatched compared to online.
All right. In your previous company and your current community, how have mixed cultures affected working relationships and communication styles?
I think it's definitely something to be aware of. Even within third culture kid world, people have their own cultures, and there is different communication styles. And I think because I was making content about cultures, that gave me a really big advantage to easily be able to navigate different cultures. And then within the team and the company, it was stressful managing people, as I'm sure many of you know. And I was learning it for the first time at 21 years old. So a lot of good learning experiences, and it helps me in this next chapter of my life where I'm coming back at round 2 of being a content creator and figuring out, I have that experience, and now I can figure out what kind of company I want to build and what kind of work environment I want to be in.
Yeah, you've learned a lot of great lessons, and we're excited to see how you build that in your next company. So you have such an inspiring journey. Out of all the cultures, is there one more prominent than others, you feel, in you?
I'd say my heart is in Spain. I grew up there from 7 to 16. Although I'll never feel like a local there. That's the unfortunate part. The way that they, just by looking and hearing me, they know that I'm not a local and I'm not Spanish. Part of also what I wanted to say about picking from different cultures is I won't only just pick from my 7 cultures, I'll take from other people's cultures. I love how Brazilians celebrate life and show affection, so I'm going to take that into my life. I love how Indian culture shows up for the community. So, again, this feels really empowering to know that I can pick and choose. And again, this applies to everyone. I think building our dream lives and developing high agency is a worthy cause for everyone. Some people might have more tension from their community and their village and their family to deal with, but I think it's a worthy cause for all of us to build our dream lives.
I'm wondering how many languages you speak at this point.
17. No, just kidding.
You had me there, Mark.
English, Spanish, French are the main ones. A little Russian, a little Portuguese.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, being from everywhere and nowhere is alienating, but it's also empowering. Of the 90% positives of being a TCK, what is your favorite? What's your favorite, superpower?
Favorite superpower? I feel so adaptable, like I said. Like you can put me anywhere in any country, and within a couple hours I'll be like, cool, this is how the streets work. This is where the supermarket is. These are like the general words that people use. So I feel like that the ability to adapt very quickly is a great one. And another analogy I like to use is we're bridges. So we're bridges. We can help bridge different points of views, whether that's in culture, whether that's in politics and economics, whatever it may be. I feel like a lot of the world right now is binary, where it's either you're right or you're wrong, or it's either all in on AI or not at all on AI. What about the in-between? What about the gray area? And that's where we've lived in a lot of the time, so I think that's one of our superpowers as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point, like that Venn diagram that you showed us at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. And what introduced you to the term TCK, and what helped you decide to make normalizing the term and creating a community the next step in your journey?
I think I came across it when I was 18. It might have been some article. It wasn't, a lot of people have kind of like this enlightened moment, and I probably had that too. But it just stuck with me since I discovered it. And over the years, I've really strongly identified with it. It's the only thing that really explains my identity. And so that's why I hold so strongly to it. And another way that I like to think about it is being a TCK is a spectrum. There are some people who have two cultures, and they generally feel like they're rooted into a place. And then there's people on the other side of the spectrum who are a lot of cultures and feel completely lost, and those are people who might gravitate stronger to it. But it's been something that I've always identified with, and when I was looking for a new cause to dedicate myself to, a new work to do, this is the cause that really stood out to me, that I felt connected to.
I know that's the term TCK, but like, what is the age range of people who come to your events?
Median age is about 31, and at TCK Fest, it's like 14 to 67. So we have families with teenagers, we have elderly couples, but yeah, I think people in their 20s and 30s are going to be, they're at that stage of our lives where we're asking those questions of actually, who am I? And maybe this question is accelerated for us because we're kind of hit with the reality of feeling lost a little bit.
I've got a few questions coming to my mind. Like, at this event, like, what kind of food, what kind of cuisine are you planning to serve? Are you going to serve like so many different ones, or what's the food of choice at an event like this?
That would be cool. A plate with everyone's a meal with everyone's cultures. We'll have a lot of Slovenian food because the hotel is providing it, and it's like we realized that the hotel we booked became a Times World's Greatest Place of 2026 after we booked it. So we're like,
wow.
This is a sign from the universe that we found the perfect place. But it would be cool if everyone brought a little ingredient from their culture and we'd have this massive potluck.
What is your favorite type of food? You had the Moroccan slide, but French, you've got a lot of great options.
Got a lot of good ones to choose from. Mediterranean probably stands out for me. One of my favorite events that we do in our TCK events are these cross-cultural potlucks. So not a regular potluck where everyone brings a dish from their culture, but they mix their cultures into one dish. So for example, if you're Korean Mexican, you'd bring kimchi tacos. I made once a Ukrainian borscht with Hong Kong fish balls inside the borscht. So we're creating completely new recipes, and it's really a fun way to kind of reflect our multicultural identities. And another thing that I'll say, because I'm talking a lot about third culture kids, and this is the whole theme of the talk, is being a third culture kid is just one aspect of us. It's not all of who I am. It's just my culture. So as much as I like to identify strongly with that, I know that it's just my costume. Again, back to more of the spiritual stuff is, I think RuPaul said it, we're born naked and the rest is the costume. So at our essence, we are this thing that observes the mind. We're not born with all the thoughts in our minds. These are just accumulated, and the culture's accumulated, and it's just the outer layer that defines a lot of my experience in life, but it's just my culture.
Yeah, it's a great thing to remember. We have another question that came in now. So, fellow TCK here too. What similarities and differences do you think TCKs and digital nomads have?
The fluidity of moving around, the living a non-traditional life. Again, being a nomad is out of the norm. The same way being a third culture kid is out of the norm. It's developing high agency. All of you guys probably made that decision of, I'm going to leave the expected traditional route of work life to do it on my terms. So well done for all developing some high agency in your lives.
That is a great note to end on. Thank you so much, Mark-Jan.
Thank you.
It's really powerful talk. And guys, thank you for coming. I don't know if there was someone here for all of our speeches today. If so, thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
One thing I want to mention about the pool party tonight that I did not say before, please bring your own, if you can, it's better to bring your own sandals or flip-flops,
Thank you.
because there's going to be a lot of us
Thank
walking
you.
around
It's
and you don't
something I
maybe
talk
want to
about
be
a lot.
barefoot. So,
It feels-
I'm excited to see you at the events today, especially Pulse Therma if you can come. And remember, pickup starts between 6:30 and 7:30 in front of Umbrella Bar or 94 Piran Street. All right, guys, have a great afternoon. Woo!